yes, we have a... It's not a one-shot, it's a two-shot, actually. We have a two-shot for you tonight. First part tonight, second part Monday. And we are being joined with a totally different motley crew of characters. We have with us 4 of our subscribers. So we're going to kind of go through some introductions. You all know me, I'm Gorbat, I'll be your Dungeon Master. So starting all the way up in the top left-hand corner, introducing from the world of chat, we have the Snuggler.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm the Snuggler and I'm going to be playing a level 2 rogue named Petrius Ladoon.
Alright, someone who needs no introduction if you're from the world of chat, we have Milk, or Milk the Femtor.
Hi guys, I am Milk the Fermentor. I am playing a level 2 druid named Kipski Nestle, aka Kips, aka Nessa, aka Sylvie, aka Ski.
Ski!
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 There you go, Ski, I like Ski. Also with us, we have Ninja JB, 56.
Hey guys, tonight I will be playing a level 2 halfling sorcerer, Haven Bronzetooth, the snarky little dude with big plans for himself.
Alrighty, and last but probably least, we have with us Satchmo.
And today, to make up for my leastness, I'll be playing a half-orc cleric. A good one, too.
Leastness. Yeah.
So,
let me tell you a little bit about tonight's adventure. It is part of an advanced Dungeons and Dragons trilogy for 4 to 6 characters, levels 1 to 4. We are doing the first part of that trilogy tonight. It was written in 1995 by a guy called Jim Butler, and I painstakingly converted it to 3.5 and made it in Roll20 so that we can run it with you guys. Osmer, thanks for the resub, buddy. That's 3 months. You should now have your bronze badge. So we're about to go ahead and kick things off. So we're going to start. All of our characters already know each other. And on a kind of a late evening, they have arrived in a little village. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the maps for you. This adventure is actually, for once, not set in the world of Arconis. This is... oh, and look at that, look. Why would that not happen? The map windows have all disappeared.
Dear.
Well, I know that was there just a second ago. I put it there. That one's there. Where's the dice roll? Okay, dice cover. Let me just try and see why these dice are not showing up. 1 second. I may have to just recapture it, or I may have to shut the Roll20 down and reopen it. I was having this issue earlier. It wasn't capturing properly. So bear with me just a second, if you wouldn't mind, folks. Well, I have to just kind of reacquire. Usually all this stuff is done ahead of time, but for some reason tonight everything seemed to feel like it didn't want to work properly.
It's begun.
There we go. Okay. Okay, we're good. Alright, so we are in the Forgotten Realms, which, if you are not familiar with, is a pretty well-known Dungeons and Dragons homeworld. Let me get some audio going right here. And we will have... Let's see... Sounds entirely too quiet. Here we go. Alright. So here we are in the Forgotten Realms. We're going to zoom in, and we are going to be in a little area near Shadowdale, close to Dagger Falls. Our heroes, as I said, they have arrived pretty much at dusk, and they have approached an establishment known as the Old Skull Inn. Alrighty, so we're going to move you guys into the tavern and start things off.
Or you broke out for me.
Yeah, same. You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. It seems to do that every great once in a while. But, is it okay now?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, good.
Fenrir, stop.
Roll20 is being remarkably finicky tonight. There we go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move you guys into the Old Skull Tavern. And there's a badger, and there's that. Alright. Okay, so as soon as you walk inside, the tap room is alive with activity. Most of the tables are filled with customers, but there are a couple of tables on the right-hand side that are available. There is a young lady kind of flitting around carrying a laden tray full of food. Glancing around, you probably recognize some of the people here that you may have seen earlier in the day as you were traveling through the streets, acquiring provisions and stuff for your most recent journey.
Breaking out again.
Or you're still breaking out just a little bit.
Okay, yeah, you're just going to have to kind of read between the lines then.
Okay, you got it.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it seems to. But anyway, as I said, there's a couple of empty tables immediately to your left, sorry. And other than that, the whole atmosphere, it's kind of a little dusky, kind of a little smoky. It's pretty warm in here. It's not a very large tap room, and there's a large blazing fire on the right-hand, kind of up against the right-hand wall. Because it is so small, even though it isn't full of too many patrons, it is a little noisy. But once you've entered the establishment, you are free to do what you guys want to do. Make sure everybody has control over their icons. No?
I didn't hear any of that.
Okay, I don't know why that's cutting in there.
It might be like check and see if Skype has a noise removal thing checked or something, because it sounds like a noise removal program.
Let me look. Of course, we always have problems whenever we do substreams. I don't know why.
Also, I'm being told that the mute sound is really loud too for the stream.
Yeah. 1 second. There we go. As I said, all the volumes got reset, so... Let me take a quick look at this and see if I can...
It's an extra noisy tavern, guys.
It is. Right.
Can I tell a joke in the meantime?
Audio settings.
I can tell a joke.
I'll change it to automatically adjust mic and see if that helps. Alright. I don't know if that'll help or not. We'll see. Alright. Do you guys have access to your tokens?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Alright, then over to you. Take it away. Do what you want to do.
Walking in.
And
I'm just following.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm going to.
You know, you would think they were just clear at birth for you. I mean, you're huge.
I'm going to sit in the vulnerable spot because I care about these people, I guess.
Yes. I love you too.
Beatrice is going to stay here so he can kind of take a look
Get
at
out
the
from
entire room
underneath
as
the
he sits
headboard.
there.
There you go.
Nobody's going to bother us in here.
Okay, well, as soon as you guys have sat down, very quickly the bar wench comes over, eagerly ready to take your order. She kind of looks at you all and says, "I don't think I've seen you here before. Are you strangers throughout the town?"
Yes, we're passing through.
She says, "Well, we can offer you some of the Old Skull Tavern's finest mead, or some of the house ale. We also have some imported red and white wine."
That sounds wonderful. Yes.
So all of
the
them.
mead.
Mead.
Yep.
Fine.
Yes.
Old Skull mead.
I like wine.
Skull.
Glass of wine.
Red or
as well.
white, miss?
White.
Red, please.
Is the meat, is it filling? My tummy doesn't really do much with a lot of filling drinks.
It's
Is
very
it too
sweet.
filling?
It's a honey mead. Quite a sickly.
Oh, honey is named after you.
No thanks, I'll pass. Thanks though, appreciate it.
Alrighty. And Can I get you anything to eat? It's a little late and we don't have a whole lot of the beef stew left, but I think there's still some lamb shanks.
Dibs.
On?
The lamb shanks, yes.
I'll just take some vegetables. And do you have any raw meat for my badger?
Well, yes, I can always not cook a lamb shank if that would, if that would suit you.
Yes, please.
No problem. Well, I'll be over in just a moment once I've managed to get your order set, and I'll bring your drinks out. The food will be probably about 30 minutes. Okay, so she heads off back to the bar, and very quickly returns. Every cup that you have is a skull. Basically, it looks like a small skull with no top to it, so it's almost like someone cut the top off and hollowed it out. And she puts them down. She says, if you want to keep them as souvenirs, they're 5 copper apiece.
Whose skull was this?
Oh, it's not a real skull. It's carved and painted.
Okay, thank you.
So they say.
Okay.
But, you get your drink, she sits that down in front of you, and she swans off to the kitchen to go ahead and get your food. Alright, about this time, you notice that the door opens, and a gentleman walks in. Immediately, all of you recognize this guy. This is Lieho. He is the personal scribe to Elminster, who is the most profound wizard in the known Forgotten Realms. You almost have to have lived under a rock your entire life not to know who Elminster is. And to see his scribe walk into the tavern, it's almost like a fanboy moment, because this is like somebody serious. If you are a wizard, this guy could potentially be the person that could introduce you to the greatest wizard of all time. So he is seriously someone well worth knowing. He looks about middle-aged. He's got a wiry frame. He's wearing glasses. He's fairly well built and rather healthy looking, but he has kind of a shaggy hair and a short goatee. There's a satchel bulging with scrolls and a huge book shoved in it over his shoulder. And strapped securely over his right shoulder is a sword sheath in a like a tooled leather scabbard. The man's eyes begin to dart around the room, and then finally they fall upon you, and he squints his eyes and a smirkish grin appears on his face. He immediately comes over, grabs one of the chairs from this table and pulls it over, and without waiting to be invited, he sits down. Puts his hands like this, rests them on his chin, and says, "Greetings."
Hello. To what do we owe the honor?
Help yourself.
I bring you news of a urgent matter that requires immediate attention. I was told that a group of 4 individuals arrived in town earlier today that fit the description of somebody I would like to meet. Seeing as I know everybody else,
there's 6 of us here.
I'm assuming it's you.
I'm counting 6.
He says, well,
Something tells me he doesn't count our third friends as the individuals he's looking for.
That's rude.
So, by 6 you're referring to your, furry friends?
Yes, honey.
There's a cultural barrier.
Honey?
Yes.
It's a
I'm
badger.
gonna open
Yes.
my cloak and
honey,
pull.
a honey badger, or is honey the name of the badger?
Honey, the badger.
Ah, okay. And your,
And this is Aria, and I'm going to pull my bat out from a little pouch.
It has a name, does it?
Yes, Aria.
Aria. Fair enough. Well, I'm sure they don't have rabies, and I'm sure they're perfectly safe.
Mostly.
With that, he kind of like pushes aside all your drinks to the edge of the table. Removing from his satchel, he pulls out a fistful of papers and spreads them across the table in a smooth motion. He then unstraps the sword from his back and lays it in the center of the table. Now he's a lot closer to you. His clothing is of good quality and it fits his muscular frame very well, but he got a weird smell about him. He smells faintly of ink. When you catch a glimpse of his hands, you notice that they are smooth with no signs of calluses, but they are smudged with blue and black ink, and his fingers are finely tapered. As soon as the barmaid spies your new companion, she rushes over to the table and immediately puts a glass or a skull of skull mead in front of him. And she says, "Compliments of the old skull, Yeho. We hardly ever see you anymore." "Oh, it's always a pleasure to sip skull mead, Jael," he says with a continent smile. But please do bill me for it. My absence from your fine tavern hardly justifies free drinks. And while we're at it, I'll be collecting the tab for our friends here as well. I'm sure you don't mind.
I thank you, sir.
Yes, so, as you undoubtedly overheard, I am modestly Lieho, scribe to Elminster of Shadowdale. And he kind of pauses and looks at you. Oh, okay. Before I go into specifics, perhaps you can tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Sorry. I'm Jakal. I'm from a clan of the north, and
Mother or father?
The father. Yes.
I thought so. It's very rare you ever find the other way around with you half.
It is. Anyway, it's good to meet you. I'd like to help if I can.
He's not very good at the persona of culture.
No, I'm glad you're willing to help, because I, quite honestly, need it. You, the owner of the, Furry Badger, what is your name? Tell me about yourself, my dear.
I am Kipsky Nestle. I am just a traveling druid with them right now until I find where I need to be.
Oh, wonderful. And you, little fellow with the winged rat on your
First of all, can I say that I don't like the word little. I like to be small in stature, I prefer, but little, people think, I find that a very offensive term, so first of all, I just want to get that out of the way. Second, my name...
I do apologize. I meant it as a term of endearment and affection, but I'll refer to you as, what was your name?
My name's Petrius Ladoon, and I get into places people need to get into. I talk to people who people don't want to talk to. Kind of a jack of all trades about things, so if you need something done, you just let me know and I can get it done for you.
Well, excellent. Your particular skills might come in handy. And last of all, Mr.
Bronzetooth. Haven Bronzetooth. I'm sorcerer, traveling about, hoping to make a name for myself and maybe get introduced to someone like your boss.
Oh, yes, well, if I could count on my 10 fingers and toes the number of times that people have asked me to do such a thing, if I got a copper piece for every time, I would be quite wealthy. That being said, I will see what I can do in this particular circumstance.
Then my services are yours.
Sorry, what was that?
So then my services are yours.
Oh, good,
I'm going to hold out my hand.
Now, what I'm about to tell you must go no further than this room. Are you at all familiar with the Zentarim? Basically, you all know who they are. They're like the Black Network. They control this. If you think of them as mobsters and gangsters that control the whole area illegally, but through brute force, that's who they are. He says, they will undoubtedly learn of this story soon enough, but there's no reason to give them what they should uncover for themselves. So, before I go any further, do I have your word to keep stum?
Mm-hmm.
I can hardly communicate as it is.
I guess.
As an additional incentive, if they found out you knew what I'm about to tell you, they'd probably torture you to death anyway to get it, so I wouldn't breathe a word to anybody. Well, let's see. 3 weeks ago, a group of warriors led by Randall Morn, rightful ruler of Shadowdale, was attacked as they left the crypt of one Shraven, a long-dead wizard. Some among you may have heard of Shraven, the weapons mage, in your studies. He was a good wizard who served the Dales back in the late 900s. By all reports, he was wise and just, and is credited with creating some of the most unique magical weapons and artifacts of the era. According to popular legend, Shraven created a powerful longsword known as the Sword of the Dales. And just before his death, the weapon was rumoured to have a variety of special powers. No one remembers exactly what the sword could do, but in my research I've managed to uncover a few of its reported properties. First, the sword can part chains and manacles when its wielder just merely speaks the word Merrydale. It also enables its wielder to breathe underwater while holding it. Other than those two powers, I have little else to offer you. I haven't had time to do any more research. And if you'll excuse me, as he takes another sip of his skull mead, he says, Randall must have believed that possession of the sword would put him in a better position to free Daggerdale from the hands of the Zentarin, for he led the adventuring group into the tomb himself. Now, according to Ayrton, a loyal servant and the lone survivor of the expedition, Randall successfully freed the sword from a horde of undead that were within Shraven's tomb. The group was ambushed as they left the crypt by a Zentil force, predominantly of mages who had somewhat learned of Randall's expedition. They nearly defeated the Free Dalesmen, but Randall, wielding the Sword of the Dale, crushed them and their magical creations with minor injury to his party. What happened next, however, was totally unexpected, and ultimately fatal for the group. Although it happened quickly, Ayrton was able to provide some useful information. Undead, mostly skeletons, but a few ghouls, and zombies as well, rose from the earth. The Dalesman watched in horror as his doomed friends fell before the onslaught. He also caught a glimpse of an odd emerald light that struck Randall Morn to the ground. Ayrton insists that Randall was still breathing, but unable to move after this attack. Smart enough to realise he could not possibly fight all the undead by himself, he made his escape undetected and fled to Elminster's tower for assistance. He gave me a sword. Not the Sword of the Dale, but an enchanted blade nonetheless, that he recovered from the tomb to return for a meal and some healing potions. He since returned to Daggerdale to inform the freemen of what transpired. Clasping his hands before him, he leans forward and says, "The realm needs heroes, right here and right now. I understand that, as I have no idea who you are and I've never met you before, and you are indeed unknown to this region, without casting aspersions on your capabilities and abilities, I've never heard of you. Not to say, of course, that you're not valorous and heroic in your own right, but I'm afraid I have to ask you to do this because, quite honestly, there isn't anybody else. I'm going to ask you to rescue Randall Morn."
Okay.
Oh.
Where is he?
Well, if you're interested, we can continue. I can offer you this sword, and this is the one that Ayrton gave us. It is a magical blade. You can decide amongst yourselves who should best wield it. It's a fine longsword. I'm sure it'll serve you well. But it is rather a dangerous quest. In addition, should you succeed in rescuing Randall Morn, we will give you a land deed here in Shadowdale, and you can set up shop or home or whatever you see fit. Don't have a whole lot of coin to offer, but as you can probably imagine, a few acres of prime Shadowdale land is no small offering. So, before we go any further, do you have any questions?
Where is he?
I think we know.
Think.
Well, yes. It's an assumption, of course, based on the information that Araton was able to provide. But I think Randall made his way into the tomb. I believe that, from what Araton says, he wasn't killed. And the last thing that we heard was that as Araton left, he seemed to recall hearing the sliding of stone as if somebody had entered the tomb itself. Considering the difficulty you'd have in entering such a tomb, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the skeletons or zombies doing it. So, as I said, it is just an assumption. Araton didn't enter the tomb himself, of course, so we don't know for sure.
Well, this is as good a place to start as any. I mean, pick up the trail,
quite.
right?
At the very least, it was his last known whereabouts, so if he's not inside the tomb, perhaps you can find where he is. Now, I would strongly recommend that you travel the North Ride to where it joins the Tethyamar Trail. This path is frequented by traders and other businessmen, and the patrols keep the area relatively free of unsavory characters and undesirable creatures. That doesn't mean, of course, you're immune to danger. As the old saying goes, a wary traveller sees the light of a new day. Sliding the sword out of its sheath and holding it up with his left hand, the scribe picks up a table knife with his right hand and points to some of the runes near the hilt. He says, now, this blade is only lightly enchanted, but it should prove beneficial in combat. As I said before, you could decide amongst yourselves who will wield it. Now, hopefully both the Sword of the Dale and Randall Morn are within this tomb. It is imperative that you get to Randall before the Zental forces regroup and go after him. He then rummages in his satchel for a moment and then carefully pulls 3 vials from his bag and sets them on the table. These are enchanted healing ointments. You may take these with you. Quote unquote, it is 3 potions that each do 2d8 healing. So should you need them, again, decide amongst yourselves who has what. Each vial contains... Oh, sorry, let me... each vial contains 3 doses. So, that's 9 doses by all accounts. Leo Howe's hands disappear once again into his bag as he pulls out a bone scroll case. He places the case alongside the vials. This contains a map of the area as well as the location of Shraven's tomb. By Araton's reports, a landslide uncovered the crypt in a valley known as the Giant's Craw. You should have little problem finding it, especially with the aid of this map. I'm always looking for books and other references, and I'm afraid our library is lacking in material about Shraven. So I'll gladly pay you for any scrolls or books of knowledge in regards to Shraven that you find. A very fair price, too. I will see to it that you are fully provisioned with any necessary food and provisions for your journey. I must stress, however, speed is of the essence. As I said, it's only a matter of time before the Zents figure out exactly what happened and head that way himself. It would be very beneficial if you are ahead of them and get there before they do. Once you succeed and rescue Randall Morn, you can drop by Elminster's Tower and I'll give you the land grant that I promised you. So, anything else I can tell you?
Sounds too good to be. Sorry. So we should
Gipsky's
make
standing
haste.
up in her chair, observing the stuff.
Should we then leave in the morning, or do we?
No,
do we
I
now?
think it would be best if you left under cover of night, this very night, and move as quickly as you can. If you can make the Tethyamar Trail before morning, it's much less likely that anybody will see you from the main road disappearing up the old path.
Right.
Alright, and with that, Kipsky's gonna grab the scroll and start unwinding the map just to look at it.
Alrighty, so I can show you the regional map. Let me go ahead and do this. I've done it this way so it's easier for everybody to look at. And probably what I want to do is let me add it as a hand. I should have done this as well because you guys are not looking at the... I'm going to go ahead and add it as a handout for you as well. And then you'll have it on the... So you can look at it whenever you want. And we'll stick it in all players' journal. And let me just go find the darn thing. There we go. Alright, so you should have it. I've got it fully blown up for everybody, but there it is. Okay, so as you can see, we're here in Shadowdale. Travel down the main road until you get close to Spiderhaunt Wood, and then travel north up the old Tethymar Trail. I think you'll find that doing so, as I said, before morning is probably the best thing to do. The Zents probably have the main road watch, so I wouldn't march straight down the main road. Maybe just skirt along it, keeping it in sight.
Very good.
Alright.
I've taken the liberty, as I said, of providing you with these healing potions, the map, the sword.
With that, I'm gonna grab the sword and kind of look at it.
Okay.
And I like wave to you and like, I should probably go to Mr. Thorog over here.
It's got... So it's a very well balanced and finely made blade. It has 2 or 3 small runes right above the kind of right below the hilt on the blade. It clearly isn't anything, you know, of a great legendary nature, but it's probably the most well balanced and you know, best made blade that you've seen, for the at the very least.
No, I've never understood these things. I've always been much more of a punching kind of guy. But, this one seems alright.
Fairly simple, isn't it? Pointy end goes into the other guy, right?
That's straightforward, yes.
Mostly, yeah.
By my reckoning, it's probably at least a couple of days' travel up the Tethymar Trail to get where you're going. So... at least a couple of days there, a couple of days there. I'll go ahead and make sure to have a week's worth of food and rations prepared for each of you. Now, if you have...
Don't forget my badger.
Oh, what do badgers eat?
Meat.
Okay, is it particular on how fresh it is?
Are you? No.
Okay, I mean, I can provide you fresh meat, but after a few days it might begin to get a little ripe. But that's your problem. And your bat, does it need anything special?
No, she catches her own food.
Perhaps? Okay, good, good. Alright, well, give me an hour. I will go and procure the necessary provisions, and I will meet you at the edge of town, if you have no more questions.
Now, I do have one more question for you. So, it sounds like this mission is pretty dire, and it sounds like we're very important to the mission. So, I'm just curious if there's nothing else in that little bag that you got there that might be able to help us out just a little bit extra, because we want to succeed as much as you want us to, I'm sure. So, you know, maybe you just could reach just a little bit deeper, find something in there that might just be a little extra helpful for us.
Which is not to say we aren't incredibly thankful for what you've already given us.
Yeah, well, of course, but just in case there's just something that maybe sneaked by down the real tiny little corner there.
Every little bit is appreciated.
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy check then.
Okay.
I'm looking over at Haven like, are you serious?
Let's see. Okay. He says, well, I don't really have much else in the bag that'll help. How do you all see? Do you all see fairly well in the dark, or do you need light sources? I suppose I could provide you with some bullseye lanterns and flint and steel.
That would be fantastic. And you know, just a little something.
I can see fine at night.
I have a spell that can take care of our light problems. You don't need to do that.
And he reluctantly kind of looks at his side and picks up his
Honestly,
money purse.
Petrie,
and
as
you
he's
see
already
him like
buying
look at
us
it and
provisions.
pause. And I suppose, just in case you need to bribe anybody, or should it become necessary, here's an 25 gold. That really is all I have, though.
That's all we need. Thank you. We all, I can speak for the whole table when we say thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
He says, well,
swine.
so, but yes, as you can understand, should we rescue Randall Morn, he can reorganize his rebels, and hopefully we can prize the Dale lands away from the Xenatrum or Zentarum as quickly as possible. Without him, everybody's lost faith. So it is most urgent that we do find him. As I said, if you can find the Sword of the Dale, fantastic. Get it into the hands of Randall Morn, should he not be there but you find the sword. But nonetheless, Randall Morn is the most critical thing. We must have him back. Well, I'll go and acquire the provisions, and I'll meet you in an hour on the outskirts of town.
Alright.
On the western end of town. Alright, and with that, he slides the table up, begins to walk across the room, stops halfway, and looks back, and he says, as I said, if you'll, I'll be back in about 2 hours' time, my dear, so, go ahead and rally up their tab, and I'll pay for it when I get back. And she's like, fair enough, Leo. Your word is good here, you know that. And he leaves. Okay, you have about an hour.
Well,
I'm like sitting there nibbling at my food and poring over that map.
So,
Alrighty.
did that strike anyone else as odd? Did he just... Or was it just me?
Just spotting
It was
us
very odd. Kind of rude, too. I mean, pets are people, too.
Yeah, plus he didn't give us that 25 gold on the first off. I had to convince him, but that's fine, I guess. We still got it.
He gave us 3 potions, a magical sword, and a map of the area.
Plus 25 gold after that.
After you busted his balls about it. Yeah.
I'm just saying he had a little more to
we
give,
aren't
that's all.
going to have this problem, are we?
I look at Honey. I'm like, humans.
I got us all an extra gold, some gold pieces. So if you want, I'll keep it if you all don't want it. I'll just keep the 25 if you want.
You're the only one who... Sit.
Okay,
Great. 3 potions, a map, and a magical sword's more than enough.
And I'm going to
for
take one of
any
those potions and I'm going to
yes,
slide them to Haven. Or slide one of them to Haven.
Okay, so
let's
Kipski, you're
just-
taking
you
one
can-
potion.
Petrus, you can take the gold. We'll each take a potion then. Is that fair?
I mean, if you all don't care about my well-being, I guess that's fine. I was just trying to get us some more gold for the trip, but okay, sure. Hey,
We're going into a tomb. What are we going to spend it on?
drinks for the trip? I don't know, some road snacks, something along those lines. You know, I'm just trying to think
all
of.
of that.
But there's always that little bit extra. I like the finer things in life, just to get our morale up. That way, if we go in with the morale up, we might be able to have more chance to succeed.
Well,
I'm just trying to think of the betterment for the party.
okay, so
What
if
finer
you're
things are you
taking a
going to
And it's
potion,
find in a
very
make sure you put it on your sheet
appreciated, really.
so that you have it on your inventory, so we know who has what,
Alright.
and who is taking the sword.
I'll take it after that display.
Okay, so you're taking the +1 longsword. That's what it is, just for mechanical purposes, just to make life easy. It is a +1 to hit, +1 damage longsword.
Awesome.
So if you're using it, add it to your. Make sure it's taken into account when you wield it. Alrighty. Do you guys want to buy anything else from inside the tavern before you head out onto the road to meet Liejo?
Well, we're about to hit the road pretty hard here. I'd say a good meal. Waiting on that.
All right. Okay. Well, it doesn't take much longer before the meal comes, so she slides out your lamb shanks, 1 raw for the badger, plate
I
of
put it on a separate
vegetables,
plate. Put it down there.
and she looks. She says, "So, do you want anything else to drink to help wash down your food?"
No, I'm well with this, yes. And I'm going to
You are
speak
aware
wildly.
that this entire thing here It's on your friend, Liejo. He's paying for it all. Do you
Two
need
more
drinks
meads.
for the night?
2 more.
Honey doesn't drink. She's good.
Two more what?
Mead, please.
2 more meads, no problem. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so 3 meads later, you are feeling a little toasty. You're not bladdered, but you know, you're
I'm an orc.
your constitution's pretty sturdy, so no rolls are necessary for that.
Right.
Jack, are you going to be okay for the road?
What? Yes. Yes, I will. I walk better in. I walk better in the trance. Yes.
I'll take your word for that.
Indeed.
Alright. Well, after you have supped and ate, you're estimating, you know, it must be getting close to an hour, so you need to head out to the edge of town to meet your scribish friend.
Scribish. That's a good
Who's
adjective.
scribish?
Okay, honey, let's go.
Really describes him.
All
He's
right.
a scribe.
Okay, so
Stop.
you guys all head out of town. As you kind of leave the tavern, you can see, you know, the streets are well lit, but you kind of exit and take a right to head down there, and no sooner have you done so, kind of further down the street to the far left-hand side, you notice that there are 3 men, dark, shadowy figures on large horses, stopping and accosting random strangers. They're far too far away to hear what they're saying, but you're pretty sure that that is probably Zentarim troops or a patrol. So it seems to be none too soon that you're leaving here.
I want to take some, like, behind house routes.
Okay.
Yes, let's not take the main road.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Come on, just
Just
follow me.
follow us.
All right.
All right. Well,
If you need to, hold on to my staff, and I'll lead you.
you take back roads or back streets and alleys to get to the outskirts of town. It is kind of, Shadowdale is nestled between pretty much forests on either side, but split by the main road. There's a river that kind of runs to the east and a bridge, but you know you're heading to the west. As you kind of get out and look, there's no sign of everybody, and then you see a very quick flash of a bullseye lantern from the trees to your south. Like,
I think our friend is over there, hopefully.
Do you want me to go ahead and take a look just to make sure?
If anyone asks, we're going to Tilford.
Yes, come on, just hold on to the staff.
And as we go that way, Petrus would take a few steps ahead just to make sure, just scout ahead a little bit,
all right.
being as hidden as possible.
Okay. Alrighty. So you kind of skulk forward. It's only probably at 100 or so yards to the tree line. And as you get close, you can see Liejo is kind of like tucked down behind one of the trees with a large rucksack next to him. Okay, he ushers you quickly and feverishly is looking behind you and to the left and to the right to make sure no one's watching you. He's like, hurry up! Under the cover of trees, quickly!
Scuttle over there.
Okay.
And I pull Jakal behind me. I'm like, shh.
Right, he swings over the backpack that is pretty much chock-a-block full of food. So it indeed has 7 days worth of iron rations times 4, or travel rations, and a full water skin for each of you. So you can record that if you wish. He says, right, I recommend that you stay inside the tree line for as long as you can. Skirt kind of southwest along the main road, and then make a quick dash over and up the Tethumar Trail. You probably want to travel as quickly as you possibly can up the trail until you can't see the main road behind you. Only then should you even consider slowing down.
Understood.
He says, well, all the Dales have their fates in your hands. I know that sounds overly dramatic, but it's actually very true. So, good luck, I suppose.
Thank you, Leho. We'll not let you down.
Indeed, I hope not.
Travel safe.
Yes, it's, mostly over, the trail is, it's easy to travel, but, you'll be traveling past forests to your left and then mountains. You'll cross a river. Don't let that intimidate you too much. And then, eventually, far to the left, as you'll see marked on the map, you'll see the Giant's Craw Valley. That's where you'll find the two. Right, well, I'll be off. And I suggest you do the same. Some of the Zentarim forces were poking around in town and asking unnecessary questions. And,
Yeah, we saw them.
Yeah, I was going to warn you about that. If you
They
hadn't
didn't
seen
see
us,
you,
though.
did they?
Oh, no,
No.
we took back alleys.
Good. Well, I'm going to do my best to put a couple of red herrings into the town and at least maybe delay them for a little bit of time to give you guys a good head start. So,
Not at the expense of another, I should hope.
well, hopefully no one will get harmed, but, under the circumstances, you can't make an omelette without cracking a few eggs.
That sounds good.
So, rest assured, everybody here is honest and solid Dalesmen, and they'd be willing to risk their lives if they thought it was for the good of returning Randall Morn. Right, well, I'll be off. And with that, he skulks down behind some bushes and sneaks back towards the town through the edge of the trees.
Alright, I remember staying. Oh, yes.
Yes. Shh. Okay, come on, Jekyll.
Alrighty. Okay, so which side of the road do you want to travel down? You can either follow it down follow through the trees to the south, or you can kind of follow it more to the north. The trees go a lot further on the southern side.
South, yeah.
Kind of prefer the.
Probably
traveling
south,
through the
right?
trees.
Yeah, probably just keep it a little safer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, how far into the woods do you guys want to travel? It's not a very dense forest, so you can probably still see the road even from like 20 or so feet inside the trees. I mean, you can see the clearing, so as long as you know where the edge of the tree line is, you'll know the road is there.
Yeah, we want to say just barely in view of the tree line, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so you skulk off through the trees.
Kipsy up's ahead, keeping track of all the clear routes as it
All right.
should.
Okay, you can see clearly that woodland animals frequent this area quite a lot, but it seems like they're all keeping a pretty fair distance away from you guys. Knowing nature as you do, the animals probably know exactly where you are and can see you long before you'll ever see them. But it takes you several hours of traveling. Of course, it's much slower working through the woods than it would be following the road, but it is also considerably safer. Alright, it is kind of the early wee hours of the morning when you get to the edge of the tree line, and you know, seeing the edge, the clearing where the road meets the Tethyamar Trail, and you can see the ominous-looking Spiderhaunt Woods across the main road to your west. This is obviously the point that you've got to kind of cut and run and go northwards. It's about 300 yards from the woods to the road and then up, so you're going to be kind of like going across in a very wide open space. Of course, it is about 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, so hopefully, you definitely have the night on your side.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out, make sure there's no one on the road right now.
Okay, so you look up and down the road. Nope, the road looks pretty clear. You don't see anybody to the left or anybody to the right. For as far as you can see, anyway.
I think now's as bad a time as any to find a post.
Well, we have to
Tally-ho.
go sooner or later. Might as well make it now.
Okay. So you all just want to like scurry across in a pack, or you want to go single file? What's the game plan?
Probably the.
Can I roll a spot just to
Sure.
just to really?
I was gonna say, yeah. When I run across, I'll keep my eyes open to see if I see any footprints or tracks or evidence of
All right.
people being around.
Okay. Yep. So if you're vigilantly crossing the road and trying to look for anything, you can give me a spot check as you do so. So who's going across first?
Probably not the orc.
I was going to say the orc just because it's darker
Okay.
right now.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going.
All right. Okay. So Jakal, you crouch down low and scurry across, chinking as you do so. But I mean, you're not particularly loud by any means. Okay,
Yeah,
and
slaps against the bottom.
eventually you kind of get across the road and to the edge of the trail. Okay, so you're on that side. Who wants to run across next?
I'll go across next.
Okay.
Any
All right.
spot,
So,
uh,
Petrius, you can do the same thing if you want to make a spot check. All right. Your nerves are obviously playing up. You're far too nervous to be paying much attention to anything except getting across the damn road. But you eventually get across and, you know, tuck in. Probably like there's a little bank that you kind of slide down off the side of the road, and that's where Jakal is. All right. Who's next?
You can go first if you want. I'll be okay.
All right. And I will go very carefully. I'm going to actually like sneak across as best I can.
Okay.
He's a little skittish at the thought of someone jumping him in the
All right.
dark.
So you can, if you wish to actually make a move silently check, if you have that skill, you can do so. If not, you can just assume you're trying to be as quiet as you can.
Yes, I will. Let's make a roll for the hell of it. So, +6. Don't do this to me, keyboard.
Hey,
There we go.
Ooh.
All right. okay.
nice.
Yes, incredibly quietly and stealthily, tucked down low to the ground, your tiny little self scurries across and slips down the bank next to Petrius and Jakal, and they're like, "Oh, he's here." Kind of like it's almost like you're there, and you've been there for about 2 seconds before they notice that you've appeared, leaving everybody now on that side except for Kipski.
I'm gonna take one last look, gather up my robes, and say, "Okay, let's go, honey," and like crouch down and run across.
Alrighty. Okay. And you scurry across, and now you are all on the other side, down the bank. Alright, so basically the road, it kind of curves down. It's a slight drop down off the main road, as I said, kind of down the bank, and then you're kind of making your way across open, rugged terrain, following through rocks and brush and stuff like that. But while it's not blatantly obvious that there is a trail here, you can clearly see where various different horses, possibly deer tracks and stuff like that. So there is like an established pathway. It certainly isn't paved, and it's certainly not nicely clearly marked, but it's obvious that there is a pathway that you can follow to the north. Alright, and as I said, it's about 3 to 4 in the morning, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna definitely. I'll take the lead on that path and
Yeah,
start.
we'll want to keep walking here. Get out
Okay.
of sight.
Alright, so how long do you wish to travel? All the way through till morning, or...
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Continue to
Yeah,
move through
do
night,
it in the
yeah.
morning.
Yeah, he told us to get a move on, so
Yeah,
probably listen to
basically
him.
his whole thing was to make sure that you're clear
Away,
of
yeah.
the main road before you get too
Okay.
far. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, the early hours of the morning begin to seep in. As they do so, farther up the road you see a small stone structure that is just, it's far enough north along the Tethramar Trail that it can't be seen from the main road. It looks like a small granite building that appears to be well maintained. Its thatch roof looks new, and there's a fresh odor of something kind of wafting south on the wind towards you guys. Does anybody have any form of herbalism or anything like that?
Nope. No.
I have an herbalism kit.
This thing would probably be nature, but
Nature, I would, if you've got knowledge.
Yeah, I got nature.
I'd let you roll on that too.
My hopefully badass knowledge nature check.
Holy crap!
some of my cleric spells are at -1.
13 plus 10. Oh, look, yeah, because you got all the bonuses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fresh cut hay is what you can smell.
There's hay up ahead, freshly cut.
Alrighty. 20 feet from the eastern wall of the little stone hut grows a tall, young oak tree, its branches shading the building completely. As it is now beginning to... The sun is just kind of rising above the horizon. You can also see that there are colorful flowers and plants all planted all the way around. And as you get a little closer, all of you can smell vibrant, fresh scents of different floral bouquets just wafting into your nostrils. It's incredibly overpowering for just such a... to smell flowers this far away in such an open space, but it's strangely soothing at the same time. Let me go ahead and move you to it.
Snow from that building's making
so
my
pretty.
eyes start to shut.
There you go.
Yeah, it smells nice.
My hay fever's acting
Alright,
up.
so it's the crack of dawn, basically. As I said, the sun is just beginning to rise. Once you've gotten to here, the pathway has actually become to be a little bit defined. Almost like whoever painstakingly built this little structure, built a little fence, planted an oak tree, laced it all with flowers. They even went as far as to kind of lay some stone to make almost like a rough, rugged, kind of rocky pathway, so that at least this area is considered to be more civilized than the rest.
Odd.
Do you think maybe we should not travel on this road either and just keep a distance from it?
I mean, he didn't say anything about this place. I mean, and it smells, well, a little strongly, but it's nice. Besides that, we haven't stopped for rest or food or drink.
I'm tired and also
Hungover?
tired and
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'll like reach up and pat you on the arm. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they're not willing to let us stay in the house, I mean, we could rest under the tree or against the
Are there any windows into the house?
We'd not want to be
Doesn't
trespassers.
appear
We should
from
introduce
this
ourselves.
distance. You can't see any. In all honesty, it looks just like a solid stone 30 by 30 building. There appears to be only one main kind of archway that goes in that almost completely encompasses the front portion of the building. Of course, you can't tell if there's a back door because you can't see from there.
I'm just gonna walk up to it because we're being silly.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really not a huge reason.
Kind of leaning around the corner, seeing if is it an open archway or is there a door?
It is a kind of like an open archway, but there is a door there.
I'll just kind of knock on it. Hello.
Okay. You knock on the door. There is actually no answer whatsoever. The door is slightly ajar, however.
Is everything okay? I'm gonna like creak it open and kind of peek through.
All right. The
really?
doorway slides open. Inside, there's a couple of stone benches, and at the very end is a small and humble little kind of offering area. A very small kind of shrine. If you have knowledge religion, You may make a dice roll.
Should.
No.
Or you can
Wait.
just...
I
or
do.
I can describe what you see and...
I have it, and it's at -1.
Okay, then give me a
This
dice
character is amazing. Okay.
roll. Ooh, okay.
Close.
So, looking at the carvings on the altar, and also as you started looking at it, you see those, and then you notice to the left and the right, and you recall seeing them on the archway as well as you came in. Looks like a big gauntleted hand, and you realize that is clearly a representation of Torm. Torm is the god of good and healing and law and protection and strength, and generally paladins get a boner for the guy. So, you know, you're fairly
Impala
sure that
women.
this isn't a bad place.
We should be welcome to rest here. Good news. Cool guy, gauntlet, friend. Good friend.
Wow, all right.
Okay.
I'm being as
Say so.
convincing as I can, and I'm just gonna push the door open and disappointedly slump myself down.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually rest over here by the trees instead.
All right. So, let's see. So you want to, Jakal, you want to go inside. Kind of like on the left and the right, there's a couple of stone benches.
Okay.
They're
Take one where you put me. That makes
about
sense.
10 foot. They're about 10 foot long, and they're about 2 foot wide. So they're just enough for you to kind of like perch on if you'd rather not lay on the stone on the floor. That being said, stone floor, stone bench. One
That's
is
still-
no more comfortable than the other. That's for sure.
I'll unfurl a bedroll and just be like, yes. I'll very carefully tuck it around the thing and be like, this will work.
All right, so you kind of drape it over it and make yourself a 2 foot wide mini bed.
Stone bed. Yep.
All right, so Kipski, you want to go and lay up next to the big tree?
Yep, huddle myself in between the roots.
Right, give me a listen check.
Okay. Where are you? There you are. I did great.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Okay. You're so tired. You kind of like slump down. You almost felt like you felt the tree creak, like as you laid against it, and you know you start to think back to all that massive plate of vegetables that you ate in the tavern, and thinking to yourself, maybe I shouldn't have eaten quite as much. But it almost feels like the ground kind of gives just a little bit, just enough to like make the perfect little resting spot for you.
This is a nice spot.
Okay, so you snuggle in. What is your badger doing?
I'm probably sniffing around before he lays down.
Okay, so he
She
wants to
is down.
snuffle for truffles? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, Petrius, what are you going to do, my good sir?
Are there any fallen leaves underneath the tree that they're against?
Ironically, none. Not a single leaf. In
Are
fact,
there?
this whole place looks immaculate. Like, all the flowers are perfectly arranged. The little fenced area around the oak is pristine. The oak tree itself looks like the perfect specimen of any oak tree you could ever hope to find or see. You know, this place itself, somebody goes to a lot of trouble, or went to a lot of trouble, to make this place just absolutely perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, then in that case, I am going to enter the building right over here.
As he does, I'm going to look at him. If you touch any of this, I'm considering you evil, and I will smite you. Somebody put this here out of the good of their heart, and we're welcome here as guests. You don't take things when you're a guest unless offered, which we're not.
What have I ever taken anything from something before? What's the big deal?
I mumble in my sleep, yes.
I'm just coming over. I'm just coming over here to lie down.
And
What's
what's
the big
Haven
deal?
doing during all of this?
I'm trying to be good, damn it.
Sounds like you're just a big bully to me, but all right.
Haven was going to sit against the fence here. And...
Okay, so you're gonna like. So the fence is like it's like 3 paneled fencing. You know, like 2 foot, probably about. Let's say 2 foot. It's probably about a foot gap, and then you've probably got 3 planks that go across. The whole thing is no more than about 4 foot high, so it's perfectly solid and comfortable to lean up against. So you plop yourself down on the outside, and of course, bearing in mind by now it is getting light outside. So as you rest here, you are very visible on the. If you're on the outside, you're very visible to anybody that should happen to travel by. Alright, how long do you guys want to rest? Or do you want to do anything while you're here at this quaint little shrine and nestled away building of Torm?
I think for right now, Kipsky would be taking a little badger nap.
Okay. Alright,
Yeah.
so you're resting up.
Yeah.
You guys, give me an
It's a long
idea of
night.
time.
Say
How
about
long do you want to rest for?
A few hours long.
Yeah,
enough
about
to feel like
4-ish
I'm not
hours.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to kind of be up and at 'em probably
Little power
around
nap.
just before noon.
not
Yeah.
too. Don't wait on too long, but
Yeah,
enough
but
to
bearing in mind
rest
that
up.
you didn't rest the night before and you traveled all day, everybody is, once you stop and the excitement and the tension of everything has gone down, you can start to feel, you know, your eyes getting a little heavy. And it wouldn't be too hard for any of you to fall asleep. Does anybody want to keep a watch while you sleep? Want to take shifts for those 4 hours? Or are you all just going to trust in this little area and just go to sleep?
as I fall asleep, I'm gonna mumble to Honey and say, "Keep an eye out, would you? Whether or not she listens, we'll see."
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
And I'll look over at Jakal and I'll say, all right, look, let's just clear the air here. How about we take shifts, make sure we're safe, and because I'm just such a nice guy, I'll take the first shift. I'll watch first. You go get some sleep, you big brew.
Okay. First of all, can I have your bag just over here, really quick?
My bag, for what?
I just want to look at it, see what's in there, and then I'll do the same thing when we leave, and we'll be good.
Are you? I don't know why you don't trust me, but fine. Here, take a look.
The way you said that is exactly why I don't necessarily.
Okay. So you're
Anyway.
going to take inventory of what he's got in his bag.
Yeah. I understand you're good at what you do, and I know that you can handle that when you're doing it, but what you do is in my list of things that I don't necessarily appreciate. Okay, here you go.
Thank you. Did you remember it? Need to write anything down?
I have the memory of an orc, thank you.
Can you?
That's
And
what-
then I'm
that's
just
what I
gonna,
was-
and then I'm
that's
just
what I
gonna
was
punch
afraid of.
myself and pass out. Just
Alrighty. Okay, well, unless so you two want to split us. You guys want to get like a couple of hours of sleep apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds all right.
Okay, all right. Well, here in the little shrine to Torm, you sleep incredibly soundly, like unnaturally soundly. In fact, a couple of hours here is almost like 4 hours of continual sleep anywhere else. It's just like nature's got you. It's almost like you're just snuggled up in nature's bosom, and it is protecting you from all the bad that's out there in the world. Kipsky, this place just like sings to you. It's almost like as you're falling asleep, you have little dreams of little fluffy white bunny rabbits bouncing around, and little deer, and little fawn, and Hunter with a gun shooting one of them, and they all cry. But no, lots of fun things like nature stuff. Everything is just perfect for you.
I fucking love nature's bosom.
It's as close to a druid's grove as you could possibly imagine out in the middle of nowhere like this. Torm is not really a druidic god, but he does definitely stand for protection. And that's how you all really feel, is like just safe. Okay, after getting a good bit of sleep, as the sun is now, high up above, you realize, yep, you feel fairly well rested, more so than you expected. And the continuing path northward beckons. Now, you can either continue and follow the trail itself, or you can kind of like stay off the trail a little bit and try to skirt along for as far as you can. It's your choice, really.
As nice as that was, I think we should not follow any definite trails.
Yeah, stay off the beaten path a little bit.
Alrighty.
Indeed.
Okay, so you
That was
guys are
such a
going to
nice
head off,
rest.
but stay off the beaten path as much as you can. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Which side of the path do you want to stay off? To the left-hand side, it's mostly going to be mountains and rock and crags. To the right, after a little while, you'll get to where you can at least see some trees.
The high ground.
Is there a high ground? Mountains, I guess. That's pretty.
The
That's pretty
highest
rough.
ground is going to be on the left, which is where the
Yeah.
mountainside is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
That's a
three
hard
mountains.
choice.
And then there's
Don't really
mountains over
want
there.
to cross the road in the middle of the day.
We'd have better cover on the other side, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
But we'd also have a strategic disadvantage.
not for me.
Right. But for everyone else, and recognize you are one out of... Hold on, let me look at your bag.
How far?
I don't. What? No, we're out already. We're done. You lost your chance, buddy.
How far from the road is like the base of the mountains?
It's. I mean, you're talking about a couple of miles.
Oh, I suppose if we just push
At
out.
least from where you are. By now, you guys are about here.
Maybe we should just skirt the mountain.
Yeah.
Until we get to.
he did say we have to cross a river, and I don't know about you, but I'm not a very good swimmer.
I'll throw...
Yeah, let me check.
I'm not either. I'm not very good.
No, I don't have the muscle strength for swimming myself.
So
Swimming, jumping, what's the difference?
Well, I mean, you got like massive freaking arms. Maybe you could carry us across the water.
Yeah, we ski on your back.
he could probably just
I have a
walk across
-5
it, but-
swim modifier.
Oh, never mind. I'm a better swimmer than you.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't.
am too,
You
actually.
can jump
The
on my
armor
back, I
looks
guess.
like it might somehow prohibit him from swimming particularly well if he
Like
keeps it on.
you know how like when in the water like scales kind of work like this. Well, his armor kind of works like this.
Goes the opposite way. All right, so yeah. So which side of the road do you want to travel up?
We could go about a half mile to the left and just keep an eye on the road, and then duck down when people start to travel by, and just until we get to the river, and then go back and across river bridges over there.
Frankly, this road is rough enough as it is. It's all the same to me.
Now, because the higher ground is to the left, it's fairly open and clear, at least for a fairly reasonable distance. So unless you're going to get way away from the road and just travel north, you know, anyone
telling
kind
y'all,
of glance, anyone
get to the
riding
tree.
down the road and kind of looking up could possibly still see you. You would have more cover on the other side of the road, but again, you won't have the high ground.
And we have to cross the road twice, basically.
Well, the Tethamar Trail is really, at the most,
Yes.
it's only like 5 or 6 feet wide. And by now, as you've been traveling north, the nice little paved road part, that's long since gone behind you. That was really no more than about a 400-yard stretch that was just
for the
put
little
there for the
shrine.
little shack, right. So you're back in amongst kind of bushes and shrubs and stuff again.
Say we just take the road and keep an eye out. If something spooks us, we'll take to the high ground.
I say we stick to the trees, but I guess whatever y'all want to do.
I mean, I could have Arya keep an eye out from above. She can.
And then Honey could walk near the road too and just keep an eye out if we go towards the woods.
I mean, she can't really talk, but I'll know if she sees something.
Bats can fly in the daytime.
Yes.
Black bats can fly at any time.
They only come out at night because that's when their food comes out.
They're not
They bugs.
vampires, they're bats.
Bats in the day.
Make a note.
I didn't know you could write.
So, give me a consensus. You want to go on the trail, left on the high ground, or right through the woodland?
Kipski is more drawn towards the woods herself.
Okay, so there's one vote woods.
Woods.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Petrius is woods. There's 2 woods.
Haven would like to stay in the woods as well.
Haven's
Well,
in
then
the
woods it
woods.
is.
Okay, alright. So you guys are going to kind of travel up and skirt your way along inside the wooded area. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good
I
to
am
me.
going to have Arya flying about above us, keeping her ears peeled for anything that comes
Alright,
by.
And
now,
honey,
is she
it'll
going to
be-
fly inside the trees, or is she going to fly above the trees? In other words, is she keeping an eye out for you inside the woods, or is she watching the trail for you?
I'm going to have her watch the trail between us,
Okay, alright.
so that she's just
But
kind of flying.
she's not like working in around the woods where you guys are walking. She's kind of a little higher and
Yeah.
making sure that the trail itself can be seen. Alright.
And I'll have a honey bounding around the tree line, keep an eye out too.
Okay, so you're kind of picking your way through the trees, going forward. So as you do so, let's have Honey make
Honey.
a spot check.
Honey, what's your spot? Honey.
Yeah,
Let's see.
what's your
Spots
badger's
+3.
spot check? And does your badger like mashed potatoes? And if you've got
Everyone,
English.
aw, man.
Okay, alright. There are some delicious grubs and stuff here, so periodically your badger seems to be somewhat preoccupied with stuffing its face. It's doing what you told it, but it's not paying as much attention as it probably should.
This is within Honey's character, though, so it's...
But, there you go. Alright,
He's
in
like,
that
fuck
case,
you,
then,
I will do what I want.
let's have the other 4 of you give me a spot check.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't have a negative on that one.
That's better.
Oh, we got a 19, a 21.
And a 12.
Alright, okay. So, Kipski and
for God's
Petrius.
sake. That's the
One.
problem. My keyboard is... There's something wrong with my keyboard, and the D and the S keys get.
If you need to, you might find it easier to use that. There you go, 12. You might find it easier to use the dice roll.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to use that from now on.
It'll make life a little easier for you. Okay. As you're working your way through the trees, so let's see, Kipski and Petrius, you're suddenly aware of what you feel like eyes watching you from all round, like not immediately close to you, but fairly all the way in a 360-degree arc. It's then that both of you, maybe Petrius notices something to the left, maybe 20 or 30 feet under a bush. You suddenly see something small and scaly kind of duck down, and Kipski notices something similar dive behind a tree further up on the right. And we are going to take our break right there, because that's the most appropriate time.
Oh, jeez. Shaggy, take your dice back, damn it. I'm changing my color.
Yeah.
There you go. And the bat is not on the map, but that's because the bat's kind of watching the main road, which is over to your left. Alright, so we're going to take a short break. So on the map, so Petrius, you saw something kind of over here. And Kipski, you saw something kind of over here.
I would just kind of put my hands out.
No,
just
I would
as
immediately
a way to like stop.
stop.
Yeah, I would just say, "All right, everyone. I don't mean for anyone to freak out, but
We're surrounded.
I'm pretty sure we're surrounded by something. They look small, but I don't know how many there are. I saw one, and I think she saw one too. So
I'm staring at that tree.
Okay. So as you guys have all kind of like come to a stop, whatever it is clearly now aware that you're aware of it. And all of a sudden, from behind this tree right here, you hear a strange little voice go, "Yabba-yabba!" And out comes the tiny little dude holding a spear. They're about 2.5 foot tall. They're vaguely canine-ish, kind of like lizardish looking. And they start just swarming out from bushes and trees all the way around you.
Oh no!
Anybody speak Kobold?
No, I only speak fake Goblin.
You would think, having a plus attack against, so I would, but nope.
So, nope, you decided not to learn that. Okay, did you delve?
What are these things?
Alrighty.
Would I know
in
these
that
aren't
case,
goblins?
as they all come... Sorry?
Would I know these aren't goblins?
No, you know they're not goblins, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'd
Wait,
go
did
as
I
far as to
not
say
pick
you
a third
probably have
language?
at least,
No,
if you've
this
never
is not
seen them,
Latvia.
you've probably heard tale
Anyway.
of
Okay.
these small, savage, little reptilian beasties. But nonetheless, as they all come flooding out from the trees after one of them gave the, whatever that war cry was.
I'm gonna be coming back to
we're
get a
going to
soundboard.
start out and ask you guys to roll some initiatives.
Oh boy.
You have to make
goes.
if you're doing a straight roll, it's fine. If you're using anything on the actual sheet macro. All right, so Jakal,
Nice roll.
20 plus 6.
Satch with an 18.
Roll 20 strikes again.
Ninja with a 5.
Oh, it doesn't matter whose game it is, Ninja.
Kips with a 9.
it doesn't.
And Snugs edges out Satch just a fraction with
Shag
a
it.
19. Okay, let me do a GM roll.
Check his cursed us.
This slot is cursed, guys.
And we'll see where my little dudes are going. Okay.
How fucked are we?
Okay, so they all come charging out from the trees. And they all charge forward, scurrying across the ground, like periodically, like putting one hand down to just help themselves. They are bipedal, but it looks like they're equally comfortable on all fours. And if they weren't carrying spears, they probably would be scampering along like little monkeys. So seeing them all charge out, Snugs, you are actually on the top of the initiative order. So what do you want to do? You get to react first.
Oh, okay. I will. Oh, there's me. I am going to just. Oh, jeez. Trying to see where they are. So there's one there, and there.
Yeah, it kind of blended in a little bit.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
them.
and they
Okay,
are. They
so-
are. It's one of the reasons they were so able to sneak up and hide on you. They're teeny tiny, they're stealthy, and they're camoed. They're even
So if
wearing
I-
like little green tunics.
If I run right about to here, will they track me through that direction if I try to get behind that tree?
Well, you got one here and one here. So if you either way you run, you're going to be to go underneath the canopy of the tree to get behind it. You're going to be getting pretty close to one of those two kobolds.
Okay. Then I will. Oh, okay, so he's looking that way. I'm going to run at this one here, the one to my south, and try to. Oh, I can't select my guy. Here we go. And try to basically get around behind him.
So you want to try to run behind? You said behind this one?
The one at the bottom. At the. Yep.
Okay. So show me the path you wish to take. So like,
So-
are you going like straight to him and then, because you've got it really depends on how you want to do, because you've got a 30-foot movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Just try to get up in that direction behind him.
Okay.
And I
All
should
right.
reach by then, right?
So yeah, you'll be able to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can easily get to him. Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to use your move to rush down there. Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, he's going to see you.
Yes.
So he's going to turn, as you kind of get down here, he's going to turn to face you.
Okay.
He's not stupid enough to let you just run straight behind him.
Okay.
So you use your movement to run down to him, and
Yep.
you still have a attack if you wish to make one.
Yes, I do wish to make one.
Alright.
Alright, so it's 20.
Stab at the kobold.
Welcome with the pointy end.
Alright, an 11.
Yeah.
Alright, you stab forward to try to impale the little kobold, but he's so quick and agile, he nips to the side, and your dagger finds little but thin air. Alright, Satch.
Seeing him do that, because I turned around to see what was behind us, I'm just gonna charge up and try and crush him with the fancy new sword and see how it works.
Okay, which one?
The one he's attacking. I'm just gonna run.
Oh,
up and just-
y'all are double teaming the poor guy? Okay.
Yeah. At the very least, I'm thinking it gives us an escape route. You know?
Alright, well, that'll also give you a flanking bonus of +2 then.
Okay. So 1d20 plus 7 then?
It's cool, Ninja. Ninja and I got all these ahead of us.
Aw.
Well, that might get there.
Maybe.
So 7 plus... So does that include your +2 flanking bonus?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, you stab at him with your weapon. Obviously he's... he is physically engaged, so he's not getting his additional dex bonus, so that will hit.
Awesome. That's a lot
And
of
did you add
damage
your
for this little
+1
sucker.
for the sword as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. Alright.
So then, so that'll be / roll 1d20 plus 5 then for my damage. Here we go. Oh, that's not a 20. Why did I roll a 20? I'm an idiot.
Hey, wait, what, D20?
What?
Hey.
Yeah, no, yes.
That's a lot
the
of
sword
damage.
rolls a d20.
I don't think while I will go
D8.
ahead and tell you this just so you know, while the sword is enchanted,
It's not magic.
enchanted to get a D20 as a damage type
I'm sorry.
instead of a D8. But hey, gotcha.
It's
All right,
whatever.
11. Okay, so the balance with the skilled balance of the blade, you're not prevented from wielding. You have nothing that prevents you from wielding a bladed weapon anyway, as a cleric that you are. So, as you lunge forward with the sword, it quite quickly and easily finds the upper middle of the little kobold's
Oh, no.
back.
Did we just lose Gore?
Nope.
He's back. He's back.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
You froze for a second.
Yeah.
It's Skype. Yeah, so basically you stabbed him right through the upper back, right below, kind of between the shoulder blades, just below his neck. It went slid in perfectly easily and slid back out like a hot knife through butter as the little kobold fellow collapses dead on the floor between
I take a
Petrus
free
and Jakal.
action? Can I take a free action to turn around and just give out the most gut-wrenching scream I possibly can?
Sure. Only if you actually do the gut-wrenching scream.
I'm sorry, everyone asleep in the neighborhood.
Okay. So hearing the loud yell or the loud roar from the half-orc, Kips, what do you want to do?
Oh, thank God it's my turn.
Oh, and you probably need to roll initiative for your badger if you intend it to do anything.
Yes, I'm yelling out, Honey!
Can I call it Honey Boo Boo? I'm just...
No! Fuck that! No! Honey's is...
So if Honey's here, so yeah, go ahead and show me where you want Honey to go.
Honey is not much better than me.
Okay, so Honey's going on a 7.
Okay, so I see all of these kobolds way the F over here as well.
Uh-huh.
I am going to throw out an entangle.
Okay, where do you wish to cast it? Show me where you want to drop the entangle.
Hang on. Bam. And it's a 40-foot radius.
Uh-huh.
So it would also hit... Well, not that one,
Make
probably,
sure I've
but...
got the map scale correct before we do anything else. Hold on.
Yeah.
These are 5s. Yep. Okay. So 40-foot radius. Right. Show me once again where you're pinpointing it.
Sorry, hang on. Looks like I'm having mic issues. Can you hear me, Car?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Mike is saying I'm having mic issues, but
Your mic's lying.
but okay, cool. Good. But it's gonna be out like
So you're starting it at that point.
yeah, in case there's like more behind them.
Okay. All right.
The reason my mic is having issues for chat is because push to talk, I think. Because I mean, how my push to talk is the button. Never mind.
All right. Okay.
Myself.
So suddenly, out of the ground, vines begin to grow and twist and twine, and several of the kobolds, which are now almost indistinguishable from the actual vines themselves, are beginning to get kind of constricted and trapped. Okay.
And I'm going to move closer to the group.
All right. Honey's up next. Where's he going?
He's I don't know how far out he is, but she's running in.
All right. So where do you want her to run to?
First target she sees, which is probably going to be this one.
All right. So she wants to run over and attempt to attack the nearest kobold. Go for it, Honey Badger. Honey Badger doesn't
honey.
care. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.
Let's do this, honey.
Wow!
Ew.
Go Badger. All right. So the Badger hits for a point of damage.
For a point of damage, because
That's all it
damage
can
is
do.
awesome.
It's D2 minus 1 damage until it gets hit.
Would it get a full attack of running up, or just the one?
It'll only get 1 because it's moving.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alrighty. Ninja. So, AKA Haven. What does Haven wish to do?
Right. Haven is going to cast Flare in front of this kobold's eyes
All right.
and attempt to dazzle it.
All
It
right.
needs to make a fortitude saving throw to save.
Right. And do you happen to know
I'm pulling that shit
what your?
real quick.
I know what the spell does, but what's your What is your
13.
Be 13. All right. Needs a 13 or higher to save, and it fails miserably. Okay, so the creature is basically dazzled for up to 1 minute, so that's like 10 rounds. And oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to stick a. Icon on him. There. Okay. So he is dazzled. All right.
And then I will move as well backwards towards the larger member of the party.
Okay.
Sort of.
So basically, what dazzle does is it gives them like -1 penalty on attack roll, spot right. They're not blinded. They're just kind of like. It's like they looked at the sun for a couple of seconds and then looked back, and it's like there's like these weird like halos everywhere. So it's basically a -1 penalty for attacks and stuff like that. Alrighty. It is the kobold's turn. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have kobolds that are entangled.
Either 3 or 4 of them are entangled.
There is one there, one there.
It was a 40-foot radius, so.
So hang on.
Oh.
40 foot from, and you cast it there at the back, right? So let me see. So it would be to.
Maybe one of them, yeah.
Definitely him. We'll go ahead and extend it so that we can see. There.
It's a giant fucking.
Make sure it covers him. Okay. Alright, so he is entangled, and then there's one here and one here. Alrighty. So they can either make a full round and make a DC 20 strength check, or it is a. I think they can use escape artist as well. Not that they have it. So and they get a reflex save as well, right?
Yeah.
I think they get a reflex save, and they're not to not be entangled, but they can still only move half move until they get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Reflex partial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be, what is the DC on that reflex save?
Yeah.
So level 1. What's your casting stat? Here, you know what? Let's make life easy.
I'm not used to this.
That's all right.
I'm so used to 5e sheets now.
Okay, one of them.
At least one, yeah.
One of them will escape or be able to move, so he gets to move half. So he'll move to here. This one is dazed, and he's a kobold, so he's not smart enough to do anything other than stand there going, "Ah!" And he's all very upset. This one can't move, and this one, wherever he's hiding, there's another one in there somewhere. Oh, it was this one. So it's that one, and this one. Okay, they can attempt... He needs a 20, which he doesn't get, so he's not getting out of there. Okay, so we do have other kobolds, though. So this one is going to retaliate against your badger.
Here we go.
7,
misses.
he will miss the badger. Sorry.
Badger has a
everyone.
decent AC.
My goodness.
So, does not hit the badger. Okay, the others, this one, he is going to move his full movement to try to engage. You're the closest target, so... This one's charging down here to give you a stab. This one's going to come over here to give you a stab. This one's going to come here to give you a stab. And then we've got others that are going to move. They're not going to consider the badger a particularly dangerous threat, so... He can see you, so he's going to come here. This one's going to run down here. And then, seeing you guys, he's going to spend the rest of his movement to kind of go and back up his friends, but he won't be in combat. Okay. So, Petrius. One of the kobolds stabs at thee with his little spear, but you're easily able to just kind of like parry it aside with your dagger. For our half-orcish friend Jakal. Once again, another kobold stabs at you, but your buckler is more than a match to fend him off against his shield. Right, let's just, we've already rolled for that. Okay, so Kipski, you got 2.
Yay.
Ooh, I think you rolled 20. Alright. The first one, what is your AC?
Misses. 16.
Okay. Alright, so he lunges at you, but again, you're able to kind of push the blow asunder with your shield, and the second one, seizing that opportunity, lunges
Hits.
forward and finds a hole in your defenses. Let me go back to him.
Kipski, no.
It's the opposite of good.
That's gonna hurt.
Which is bad.
Alright. It's really bad if they actually crit.
Shag knows that,
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Alright, and for 2.
Paltry 2.
Okay, you have a gash on your left thigh for 2 points of damage. Alright, that is all of the kobold folk. Snugs, you're up. So you got this dude, like, that's in combat with you right now.
Just the one, right?
Yeah,
The
there's
one
another
didn't have
one
a
that's
chance to
getting
be there.
close, but he's not actually made it. I mean, you could, you can probably hit him from there, but obviously you've got one that's in your face. So.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd be. So.
We'll spin you around so you're not being stabbed in the back. There you go.
Yes, thank you. I was like, first I have to turn around. And then there's 2 up attacking Kipsy up there. I can't see the second one below it. Right? Or is it just one up there?
Where you are, you've got a half-orc blocking a lot of it, so you can hear kobolds all the way around everybody, but exactly how many and where they are. But you know you got one stabbing at you right now and one that looks like he's about to either pick on you or Jakal. He just hadn't made his mind up yet. Okay.
Well, since this one's right in my face, I guess I would just attack the one that's engaged with me already.
Okay.
He's right there.
You're not having to move, so you got full attack if you wish.
Was it a lovely proposal?
Oh, so close to that natural 20. Right, your first dagger from your right hand finds its mark. For 4 points of damage. Alrighty, you lunge out and stab the kobold in the stomach. As you pull the blade back, it opens up a sizable tear, and some of his intestines begin to fall out, which is a pretty clear indicator to you that he's probably done for.
Okay.
He's not completely dead yet, but he probably is going to be within a few seconds. If you want to, as soon as you're within 5 feet of this guy, if you want to, you can attempt to stab the other one with the other hand dagger.
Does this dagger not have a crit range at 20?
Oh yeah, because 19, right?
Yeah,
it's 19 and 20 for a dagger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to see if... It really doesn't matter, because you've killed him anyway.
Yeah, either way.
But you can roll it, just in case you get a 20 on the confirm to get the first natural 20.
Okay, let's go for it.
Take the roll.
Chat will feel robbed if you
No, they won't.
Natural 20!
I don't know, guys.
He should have... He should have rolled that before the damage. Should have rolled that before the damage. So
that's all I do.
there it is.
There I go.
So first of all, congrats on getting the first natural 20. And let's go ahead and select thee as winner. So if you bet, let's just see.
How many people bet for me? Like what?
4.
Oh my God! No one with all the money you could have won. Parkinseal doubled his 1 gold.
3. There's 3 people.
5K, guys.
Junk, Parking, and Paul.
3 people? You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Okay, guys, you guys all know what to do now.
See, Parkinseal, you
know
should have
who's
put serious coin on it instead of a token of 1. And you could have bet up to 5,000. You could have had 10 grand gold right there.
I told you I wasted my 1 before game.
Shouldn't have done it. Should have refused to roll any dice. Okay, so yeah, you eviscerate that. Well, go ahead and give me the extra damage roll. Give me the other D4.
Sorry, Mama.
And he maxed the damage as well. Yep. Okay, I take it back. He doesn't die in a few seconds. You pretty much just cut his stomach open from one side to the other, and all of his inside squiggly bits fall out on the floor, and he's dead before he hits the ground. Okay, if you want to make a second attack on the other one with your offhand, you can.
Yeah, Petrius seeing this is probably going to be feeling pretty good about himself, so he's just going to slice with one hand, and in almost the same motion, he just swivels and takes 1 extra step towards the other cobalt and just slices with the other.
Go for it. Okay, unfortunately, after witnessing what happened to his little kobold friend, this one was ready, and he was poised. As you lunge forward, you've made his decision. He's decided he's going to go for the half-orc. It's safer. Speaking of the half-orc, it is his turn. You've got 1 in your face, and another one that's now decided, yeah, I think I'll take on the green guy instead of that bastard with 2 knives.
It's a weird day when the rogue is the less of a threat than the half-orc.
Right? Quick question. Petrius, he's human, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
He's a short human.
He's a short
I
human, but he's human.
am a smaller in stature human.
He's
But
the
you're still
tallest
medium
halfling
size.
You've ever seen.
Yes, I'm still medium sized.
You're
There, I'm
only taller
shrinking
than
you
me by
just a
like an
fraction
inch.
there.
You're
There we
halfway.
go.
You're honorary.
I don't like the fact that you're as big as the half-orc.
Yeah.
I don't. He doesn't mind that at all. He doesn't mind that
Dude,
representation
there you go.
whatsoever.
I'm a gnome and I'm as big as the half orc too.
No, your head is.
I should be as small as Kobold.
Yep. Your body is a little bit bigger, yeah.
You eat
Here,
better.
we'll shrink these guys just a little. There, that looks better. Okay. All right, Satch. What does
Okay.
Jakal wish to do now?
Kill one of these guys.
All right, sounds like a
They're
plan to
making
me.
me feel bad. I'm gonna swing at the green-headed one because his head is green. It's D20 plus 5 to swing at him.
15. That is a hit.
Alright, and that's a D8 plus 5 to damage.
All right. Yep. You quickly dispatch this one by jamming your sharp your sharp longsword straight through his chest into his heart, and you just kind of push him off with your boot as he slides to the ground.
That's what you get for choosing me.
Yeah, it's a moral victory, no matter what. Okay, Kips. Ski.
Hey.
So you got 2 kobolds in your face right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get a shaft face. It's actually a +1, which doesn't do much.
Alright, was that with your little sickle?
It was my staff.
Okay, you're trying to whack him with the quarterstaff. Okay. You bring the quarterstaff down with a hard thump. Both the kobolds leap to the sides as the quarterstaff smashes down into the grass.
Would probably inch my way back up a little bit more as
Honey
they jump
badger.
with that. Go, go, honey badger.
Go, go, honey badger.
And she gets 4. Oh,
Look at him!
yeah.
The honey badger!
Natural 20!
We gotta roll
Milk
again.
gets
Get
a
the crit.
20.
That would have been the crit. That would have gotten me 5,000 GP, man. I just
Okay,
didn't talk.
so... see if it can confirm...
20.
It
Nope.
doesn't...
Not a crit.
One.
I get
You hit, the badger hits it for a point of damage. Alright, slowly this kobold is being gnawed to death.
Another point of damage.
And then it bites it a
That's
second
4.
time for another point of damage. That's... Hey, he's on. It's only a couple of...
And then a bite, which I believe is a -1 to attack.
it's -1 to hit, but it's actually a D...
Yeah.
It's a D3
D3
minus
plus
1.
-1, yeah.
Alright. So after clawing at the kobold, it goes in with the sharp, pointy teeth. And does not hit, I'm afraid.
Ooh.
Close but no cigar.
Honey.
The kobold is scratched and bleeding and not looking very well. Alrighty, so Haven, what do you wish to do?
Haven
You've
is
got
going to-
one dazzled over here. You can see another couple of the kobolds are like trying to wrench themselves out from underneath all the vines and thorns.
Fuck those guys in the vines and thorns.
Yeah, Haven's going to magic missile this one.
Okay. A blue blast of glowing balls.
Fetch +1. So for 5 points.
Alright, so... so you rolled the 4 and you add 1, yeah? Alright, 5 points of damage. The blue ball of glowing light flies and whips neatly and tidily around in a curveball fashion around Kipski, hitting this kobold in the chest, knocking it back about 3 feet onto its back. It clenches down on the ground. It is not moving.
Thank you.
There's a huge, big
You're
kind
welcome.
of bluish burn mark on his chest. It is now time for the kobolds to retaliate. So, once again, this kobold has got out. I'm going to do like I normally do. He has 2 possible choices here. This guy or this one. So we're going to do a D4. We're going to make the mind up. On a 1 or a 2, he decides to help out his friend and attack Kipsy. On a 3 or a 4, he thinks that his friend's got this, and he's going to go for Haven instead. Yep, kobolds got faith in each other, so he's going to engage you. Okay? And once again, we're going to roll to see if the others are capable of breaking out of it. And I'm almost certain that they're not. Nope, they're still tied in. What's the duration on your tangle?
1
minute, right?
minute.
So yeah, you still
It
got
doesn't say inside
8 more
the.
rounds. Yes,
I need to actually look it up.
Okay. All right. So the first kobold stabs at your badger,
It's a minute per level, though.
and it will miss.
1 minute, yeah.
All right. So
2 minutes.
Haven, the newly engaged kobold stabs at you with his little sharp spear, missing you.
Man, these kobolds are falling flat.
The one that is engaged with Jakal lunges forward violently and almost falls over his dead friend as he does so. And I think that's all the alive kobolds that can engage. It is. Okay. Snugs. So there is one kobold still engaged. I'll move this guy so it's clear. So Jakal is still fighting one of them that you can see right there, and you can hear from the clashing and the yelping and stuff that clearly Haven and Kipski have kobold troubles of their own.
Okay. Would I be able to run behind this tree, try to hide, and then circle back around this guy to help out?
Let's see if you've
Because
got.
I think that would break the sight, wouldn't it? I think I have enough movement to do it.
Because you can't go like through the center, but you can go come to the side.
Yeah, because I just want to break line of sight.
If you can do so.
Okay.
So and there's no. This guy here is dazzled, so even though he could see you, he's too worried. I mean, kobolds are selfish. He's too worried about his own problems right now.
Okay.
He's got a vine wrapped around his leg. He can't see versus crap, so he's too busy pulling on the vine to try to pull himself free. So yeah, you kind of like whip around. So give me a move silently roll.
Good work, Druid.
Thanks.
I think that was right.
15. Yep, he did not hear you coming.
Cool.
So not only have you positioned yourself stealthily behind him, but you have a flanking bonus of +2 because Haven is engaged with him. So you may make a attack, and it will count as a backy stabby.
All right. So that's will be a +3 total. Oh boy.
Best laid plans.
Snugs.
At the last minute, as you cunningly poise your dagger and are about to stab it between his shoulder blades, he kind of inherently ducks as he prepares to make a low, like lunging, stabbing attack towards Haven's groin. Satch.
Yep.
You still got one engaged with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if strategy has nothing to do with this game, and I'm just gonna swing at this guy.
I don't think I loaded my fumble tables. No, I didn't. All right, we're just yeah. So you swing with the longsword. He leaps out the end, and there's a small bush that's kind of between you and the kobold, that little green patch. As you go to pull the sword back, it's like, damn it, it's caught in the... And you get it back, but I'm going to put you last on the initiative for the next round.
All right.
Kips.
That's fair.
Kipski, what do you wish to do? You have one kobold still alive.
I'm gonna swing at him again.
Another whelp with the quarterstaff.
In the head with the quarterstaff and miss.
Nope. They're just hard to hit, these little things with these great big overhead swipes.
Watch this quickly turn into a reverse.
Okay, honey badger.
Let's go, honey.
I got a feeling the honey badger is going to actually kill this by himself.
Yeah.
You can do it, honey.
That's a miss.
Aw.
So the first claw fails. Second claw fails. Can he get can he get the bite in?
Oh, that actually that
Yeah.
second one was supposed to be
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah.
the
You
second
didn't put the
attack
plus
with-
4 on that, so that actually did hit
With the 1 damage.
for the 1, which is enough to kill a
Yeah.
kobold.
Yes.
Yay, honey!
Okay.
Come help me, honey.
So the kobold is dragged down by incessant scratching and tearing by the badger. Finally, he's down. The badger grabs him by the throat, rips it out. He's kind of like got red stains all over his grey and white fur, looking rather rabid at this point. But he has felled his foe.
Honey, help!
He has thus far killed 100% of every kobold that he attacked.
Alright, with his move, he's gonna come up behind this one.
All right, and then he's going to move over to. So that'll be his move. Okay. Ninja. So Haven. You've still got one right here. You
Yes.
have a flanking bonus of +2 if you want to melee him.
I don't have a melee weapon.
So that might make it a little tough then.
Yeah. Haven is going to disengage this
Okay.
guy and back up to right about here.
Okay, which means you can do so without getting an attack of opportunity. Alright, it is their turn. So, seeing that this guy just tried to murder this kobold, he's spinning around. We're going to roll for the other entangled kobolds that can. No, they're not getting out anytime soon. This one's still dazed. Okay, so, let's see. There's really only 2 kobolds left. So the first kobold is going to make his attempt to retaliate and stab Petrius after he snuck up behind him so stealthily. It was obviously a half-assed effort, and he doesn't even get close with his spear. In fact, he's about 3 to 4 inches short of his own target. The second kobold that's left is attempting once again to stab Kipski.
Nope.
But also fails. The last time I had this encounter, when I ran this adventure, it
I
went
heard.
very, very differently. The kobolds were rolling crits out the wazoo, and they almost won. That being said, the party was level 1, not level 2. So
Is Gore freezing on stream too? Or is it just for
no,
us?
it's just for you on Skype.
Yes,
Some of
just
you guys, some of you guys occasionally freeze just for a split second here and there as well, but it'll freeze, but it'll unfreeze very quickly.
Skype.
Okay, so Snugs. What does Petrius want to do now? He's still got one engaged.
Yeah, I'm just gonna attack him again.
Okay.
Try to see if I have better luck this time.
Hey,
Booyah!
you suck.
Hey!
Natural 20!
There's a second natural 20. Try to confirm that one if you want.
It's got to be that panel that he's in. Like,
Nope.
there it is.
Nope. But it's still a. So you still got your 20. You're up to 2. Yeah, that's Spook's panel normally. It's the lucky panel.
All right.
Okay, give us a damage roll.
So just a D4 then for that one.
Your D4 plus whatever if you have any strength bonuses or any other stuff added to it.
Not.
So straight 4.
Oh,
But it's
nice.
a solid 4, which is enough.
Nice.
A quick flick of the dagger slits the kobold's throat as he gurgles in his own blood and drops to the floor, dead.
Poor guy.
You could stab him again if you want, but really don't need to.
Nah, that's okay.
All right, you still
do I
have a
have a
move if
movement?
you want it.
Yeah. So it's just the guy tangled here, and
There's one tangled here, and there's one
Yeah.
tangled here.
they're both tangled.
Yep. So you got 2 tangled here, and then there's
Yeah,
one
no.
kobold left that is faced off against Kipski and Honey.
And against
All right,
me.
I'm going to, just for some flair, I'm going to run behind the tree again and try to break sight with them, so I could maybe come up behind him if I need to.
Okay. All right.
Another move silently check there.
You really won't need to because you're not going to be
Okay.
getting close enough to where any of them could actually do anything about it, even if you did. So,
Okay.
we'll just you're just going to skulk yourself down behind the tree.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Okay, Kipsk. You have.
Okay, and I'm
Um,
flanking.
You have.
Right?
No, because I think he's too small to give a flanking bonus.
Oh.
I think. What size is he?
Same as me.
So you're both small?
Yeah.
Actually, then no, he's not, because you're all small. So he is not too small. So yes, you can.
Sweet.
So +2.
Quad is +2. 20.
Nice.
Bam! Okay. Finally, the third attempt. Like, stand still, you little
Finally,
shit! As you're smashing onto the ground, finally you bring the quarterstaff down on your mark.
For 1 damage.
For 1 point of damage, because your quarterstaff is really more like a small stick, isn't it? It's not really
It's
a
a
quarterstaff.
walking stick,
Yeah,
basically.
But hey, it's a point of damage, and there's a badger still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's the badger's turn, and he also gets he gets a flanking bonus, so you could actually kill it.
Badger.
Come on, honey. Badger height, that's a hit.
Oh, man.
And that's a hit, so that's another 2,
Oh,
so that's
man.
3 points of damage total. If he
And
can get the
then-
bite in, he'll take the kill.
+1.
So
Oh,
close! But no cigar, okay.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the badger is scratching and tearing at the back of the kobold.
And
It's
he's doing way better than I am.
screaming and hollering. Alrighty. Haven. So you disengaged, you're down here. Safe from range from any of the kobolds from actually hitting you.
Can't shoot there.
This kobold here is still alive, isn't it?
No, he's
Yeah.
dead.
No, there's one I'm
no,
still
he's
fighting.
still alive.
Just
Yes.
need to say.
Yeah, I'm still fighting that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call it fighting, it's just a matter of me poking him.
It's a matter of
Yeah,
them standing still
Haven-
long enough to be squished.
Yep.
Haven's gonna draw his crossbow and take a shot at this guy up here.
Okay. Go for it. Light crossbow.
Oh,
Aww.
sake!
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That wasn't very good, now was it?
A 1.
Okay, you pull the trigger, the crossbow bolt goes, flips up in the air as you realize in your haste and anxiety of getting the thing out and ready to fire, you're so rushed you didn't really set it down properly in the groove and it just kind of like got spun end over end over end. Fortunately it didn't smack you in the face or anything like that. It got damn close though. We have a kobold and a kobold left. Let me go ahead and do the d20s for those that are attempting to break out. And nope. Okay.
No and no.
Alrighty, so Jakal, the kobold lunges at thee with the spear, and he finds his mark.
Oh, no.
Chicana.
Oh, my health burns.
For 1 point of damage.
Oh, my 1 health point.
Oh man, I done 20.
So Shagget has run this adventure. I know he's watching this right now. Like,
Crying.
this fight is completely the opposite from when he experienced it. Just saying.
Yeah, he hyped up his fight the first time with us a lot when we were doing our character creation.
Yeah, it was.
God,
His character
Sliver.
almost died in this fight. His barbarian got critted almost, just almost butchered, and it was a max damage crit too. It was like disgusting. Moral victory for a kobold. The actual kobold in that fight then turned and ran, screaming because it wanted to go back to its clan and tell everybody that it was now going to be chief because it just killed a human barbarian and it was the toughest kobold they'd ever seen. And then some bastard shot it in the back. So, all right, Snugs. Peach
All right,
is
so
up.
yes, I am again going to try and, without being seen, run behind that kobold and attack from behind again.
Okay, give me a move silently roll. You can take a long. You got plenty of room to kind of like take a long arc. A 12. Okay. So you kind of slink through, and just at the last moment, he catches you out of his peripheral vision and turns. So it'll be a normal attack. You won't get the backstab.
Okay. But is it flanked?
It is flanked, so you will get the +2 to hit, yes.
Okay.
Kill.
14, that will hit it. 1 will not kill it. But you've opened up an impressive gash on his right forearm. Softening him up for the kill for Satch. So now Jakal can seize the moment of victory.
+7, right? Because he's got the +2. Okay.
That one.
Ooh.
Go.
Nat 1. That's not Nat 1.
Nope.
Oh, that's a decent roll.
And
Okay.
I don't think you can not do 3 damage.
Yeah, I can't, but that's the wrong roll. And here I go again.
23
boy.
damage!
23 Yay! with the most awesome longsword ever. But for 8 is enough to chop the little blighter's head clean from his shoulders. He is dead.
I have the best longsword, guys.
I want that longsword.
Okay, you don't gotta brag about it, alright?
Yeah.
That's long. Rolls a D.
All right. Kipski.
Oh, will you just die already? Nope.
Apparently not. Okay. Can the honey badger finish the job and officially have killed 2 of the kobolds?
Honey
which is more than some of
badger
you have?
can do the job.
Claw, and he has. Honey badger has killed 2 kobolds and has not been hit yet.
Honey Badger MVP.
Yeah, everybody needs to
And
YouTube the honey badger.
Honey's movement. Honey's gonna move towards the one that's dazed over here.
Okay. All right, scurrying through the
Only
undergrowth
20 feet.
to get to the
Cannot
dazed
reach it.
kobold. As all it can do is as it's pulling on the vines and notices there's a small kind of furry blur moving somewhere in the direction towards it.
I like to
Okay,
imagine that one physically.
I'll get him,
Haven.
honey.
Oh, screw it. I'm just gonna magic missile this one over here.
It's like frustrations kicked in. Sod it! Okay. Roll your damage. D4 plus 1.
Good question. Why do you have that?
Poof, poof, poof. And for 4, that's enough. Alright, all of the kobolds are now dead except for the poor little guy
Oh, dazzled one.
who's blinded. Oh, so,
And Honey has murder in her eyes.
She's got her case.
right, once again, he is going to make his attempt to break out of it. He's a 20. Nope. Alright, so he is still firmly in. He's still dazed and he's still entangled. Okay, Snugs.
Well, seeing as I can't... would I... Where am I? I mean, I can reach him, right? Yeah. Yeah, just I can go. Okay, so I'm just gonna just walk up to him slowly.
So yeah, you can head over there.
Meander your way over there.
Yeah, just take my time and just walk myself over there,
Okay.
and then just
Attempts to finish
just
it off.
attack. Yeah, just go for it.
All right, go for it. He can't see and he can't move, so he's entangled.
Are there any
so...
pluses to that?
Nope, but
Or-
his AC is only a 12 to hit because of his.
Okay.
So he's just easier to hit because he's not going to be.
Of course.
But of course, that's still not good enough for you, is it?
I 20 or miss. That's really it.
That's it. It's one or the other. All or nothing. All right, Jakal.
Yeah.
What you want to do?
What's all left? There's that guy up there who's dead.
Just the guy I just attacked.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then-
there's basically Petrius and the Badger are attempting to deal with a bound and blind kobold together. If you really feel that they need assistance, you can always go over and help.
I'm gonna go over and see how the druid's doing. You doing all right, druid?
Just got a scratch on the cheek. I'm fine.
But a scratch. Alright, Kits.
All right.
Do you wish to do anything, Kits, or are you content?
I'm gonna move a little bit and pull out my sling.
Okay.
I will probably have better accuracy with this.
Alright, so you,
Oh, come on.
as
Rude.
the stone flies through the air and impacts the kobold for an impressive how much damage? 3, which is just enough. It hits the kobold on the temple. He's like, "Pah!" and falls to the ground. You're not entirely sure if he's unconscious or dead. But when the badger leaps upon it and goes and starts ripping his throat out, you know the answer.
I'm so proud of my badger, guys.
And with that, the last of the visible kobolds bites the dust, and you are returned to the peacefulness of nature once more. Okay, there's dead kobolds everywhere.
I think they smell
Eventually,
better
the
alive.
vines retract back into the ground and disappear.
I go grab my.
He's not blind anymore. He's dead, but he's not blind. You know, it's a bonus.
Grab my bullet again.
You find the stone and pick it back up. There we go. Back in my pouch.
Maybe we should have stayed on the road. Ugh. God, these things smell terrible.
All right, but yes, there's a plethora of them scattered all around. You know, you can't help but wonder how close you are to where the rest of them might be.
I'm ashamed. That was fun.
I'm gonna poke around on the kobolds and see what they have.
Okay, examining the kobolds, you find small mouse carcass. You find a couple of chicken bones, some pieces of string, some twine. Collectively, you find about 12 copper pieces. One of them even has a silver piece. He must have been the leader.
Ooh.
And
He's the leader
a
of
bunch
the bunch.
of very small, makeshift, sharp, pointy spears.
I'm gonna keep the string.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the
If you
I'll take the
unroll the
twine.
string, it's almost about 2 foot long. Just
Yeah, it
enough
could
to
be
wrap
useful
around
sometimes.
someone's wrist.
Tuck that away.
I'll take the twine if no one wants it. Or was that the same thing? Was it string and twine, or the string is the twine?
The string is the twine, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't
okay.
eat too much of it, honey. Kobolds will give you a stomach ache.
Got it.
Remove him. All right, okay. So, yep, you gather up the handful of copper that they had. And so if anyone wants a mouse carcass or anything like that, it's yours.
Honey could have it if she wants.
She's full.
Man. Funny, my first playthrough of
you probably
D&D.
find a couple of handfuls of berries and stuff like that. Maybe blackberries that they'd scavenge somewhere. If anybody wants those, you can have those as well.
Sniff at those.
Okay. But after dealing with those nasty little blighters, yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Let's get out of here. I don't want to be here when whatever else lives in this forest decides to come clean up.
I think I'd rather walk by the mountains where it's open area. Gosh.
I would just walk by and say, "See, guys, that wasn't so bad, was it?"
Can we do that
not
again?
really.
Like, maybe on the way back.
Sorry. Junk. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Do you want to go back to the road?
Oh, yes, right. Mission, we're, tomb.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to continue north, go over a river, and then
Through the woods
Take
to
a
Grandmother's
rest.
house.
I understand I'm not right. You don't need to speak to me like a child.
I will pat you on the arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll call you Squishy. Alrighty. Yeah, so do you want to stay in the woods? Do you want to go back to the trail, or do you want to cross the trail and try your luck on the mountainside?
We've already fought the woods. We know the woods. Let's just keep walking in the woods.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Keep
Alrighty.
more of an eye out. Honey, actually pay attention this time, please. Thanks.
Okay, you continue to travel for the rest of the day through the woods. By the time you get to where you can hear the fast running of water, it's dusk. Finally, you can see ahead of you a river that is probably about 10 foot down in like a small ravine. The water is running pretty rapid and pretty fast. It's quite wide. You're not entirely sure if this is a really good place to try to cross or not, but then you notice probably about half a mile over, just a little blot on the landscape where the Tethmar Trail itself meets the river. There appears to be a bridge. A stone bridge, to be precise.
Oh, good.
Of course,
Lord,
from this
thank
distance, it is little more than a small stone object in the distance.
Guys, I'm telling this to you because I trust you. I'm afraid of water.
That's why
It'll
it's
be
dirty.
okay.
There's
Let's
a
go.
bridge. We'll be fine. I'm sure it's quite well built.
Let's do the bridge. Let's do the bridge.
Alright, so is that what you guys want to do? As I said, it is dusk. It's still enough light that you can see clearly. Within probably another hour, it'll get pretty dark.
Do we want to stop at the bridge for the night, or should we stay here and try first light?
Or we could wait until dark and then
fine.
cross the bridge. And
That
then
works too.
maybe rest about midnight on the
definitely-
other side after a bit of
Yeah.
walking.
Given another hour, you feel like you definitely would have much more cover approaching the bridge, for sure.
All right.
So is that
That
Alright.
sounds all right.
Cross in the dark.
So you hide in the woods, waiting for dusk to become night. And once that has happened, you are free to make your way to the bridge. Any particular game plan on doing so, or?
Walk, but carefully.
Haven, do you think your back could scope that out really quick? Make sure there's nothing there?
Yeah.
Haven, so even while you were having all the fun in the woods, your bat did see a group of 4 or 5 horsemen traveling south down the road.
Okay.
They're south of where you guys are now. I should have mentioned that to you earlier. If you want to, I mean, do you care about them, or are you just glad that they left and they're gone?
I'm going to make the comment of it, yes.
Okay, alright.
By the way, Arya saw 4 or 5 men on horses. Well, she thinks they were men. She wasn't sure. They looked like men.
Yeah.
To her, but we all kind of looked the same to her.
Do they look like the ones that were back in town that we saw?
She can't tell that much.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I just said we all look the same to her.
There's a few
She
2
couldn't
legs
distinguish
riding on
it.
some 4 legs, and that's about as much of a definition as she can come up with. She's a bat. Yeah, it's more of a sense.
I saw
than
a thing.
Yeah.
2 legs
there
on
were
4
lots of
legs
the
is
thing.
more than 2 legs.
At least she can count.
But they were heading back the way we came.
At least they weren't around us. Not heading towards us.
How long ago and far away? How far do you think they are from us?
By now, if you wanted to, I mean, I can retcon back a little bit if you wanted to have engaged them or dealt with them, because that was kind of while you were off in the woods fighting kobolds, they were actually traveling southwards, and she just kind of, once she kind of flew up and got to the height, she could kind of look south and see them.
So they're probably miles down now.
Yeah, they're long
Yeah.
gone by now. Yeah.
Well, it seems whatever might be a threat is probably past us.
Hopefully.
Alrighty. So do you wish to make your way over to the bridge at this point, or?
It'd be good. We've been traveling nights and sleeping mornings, so...
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. You all stealthily, whilst making sure that nothing else is about to descend upon you, travel towards the bridge. You've already heard the low roar of the water. So just for those of you that know the area know that this is the Ashaba River. By the time you get to where the bridge is, however, it's about 50 feet below. So it's like considerably, you know, the area here is a lot higher. So from where the bridge is, it's almost a 50-foot drop down to the water.
That's a long way down.
A weather-worn sign proclaims this to be the Serpent's Bridge. You wonder at the odd name because the bridge appears to be completely normal. As you approach, however, you begin to notice that the stone is not as smooth as that of other bridges. It almost seems to be like the writhing body of thousands of snakes lining both sides of the span. It's hard to tell if it's your imagination or an optical illusion that makes you feel this, but if you kind of look at it, it looks like everything, instead of like just clear, like layered stone, there's just twisty, turny, windy patterns going all the way across it. And as you kind of take your eyes away and look at it, you swear they were kind of moving.
Can I do like a nature check on those? See if they're actually.
I'm gonna cross the bridge really fast.
Okay, so Jakal suddenly takes off running and goes across the bridge. Go ahead and give me your nature check. And this is where we either find out someone says, "No, it's snakes!"
Oh dear.
Or so let's see what Kipski thinks of this.
It's the orc blood in him, I'm sure.
He's too stupid to be afraid of anything. You're pretty sure it's not really snakes. It's an optical illusion. It's just the way that they're so twisty-turny. It's very clever and it's very original, but it probably isn't dangerous.
That's a little disconcerting.
Look, the half-orc
She's gonna
is
start
halfway
walking
across it and still alive, so you're probably right.
Yeah, she's like, this is very disconcerting, and just gonna start walking.
Alrighty.
Yes, the aesthetics of these people who built this are.
Yeah, somebody
kind of
put a
reminds
lot of
me of
effort
you.
into making this bridge. It was almost like someone named it before they built it. Like, you know what I mean? They had a concept.
Remind you of who?
Oh,
Right.
he's looking right at Snug's character. Like, the character name.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
He's just gonna smirk and start across the bridge.
Why y'all so mean? Why y'all making so many jokes at my expense? What I ever do to you?
You did nothing to me.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Jeez.
Alrighty. So yeah, you're on the other side of the river now. You've crossed the Serpent's Bridge. Everything is much more open here. To the left, you can see the mountain range in the far distance. To the right are the Dagger Hills. You can even see in the distance the faint looming shadow of Castle Daggerdale. A place that you have heard tell is not somewhere you want to be close to. Probably especially at night, according to some of the rumors.
Detour. Let's go.
So supposedly the place we need to go is along the mountain range, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look on your little handout map that you guys have got, you will see where the bridge crosses the river, and you're just on the other side of that. So you'll see. I've got it up for stream; they can see it, but because you guys are not looking at the stream, you can look at your own private version of the map.
Aren't we like literally on the map right now?
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Yeah, so you're just on the other side of that river, of the bridge, where the brown trail goes up. You see the bridge on the river, you're right on the other side of that bridge.
So we could probably follow the river towards the mountains and then follow the mountains around.
And if it's in the mountains, we won't miss it if we follow the mountains.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean,
Also,
it
it's
can't
the
be
high
any
ground.
worse than the forest,
That's
right?
good.
And hopefully...
Chuckled nervously.
But
It's okay.
let's
We
get
have
a little
my
ways
wit.
away and take a rest. I need to sleep.
Yes, I would like to get some sleep. That shrine was beautiful, but I'm still very tired.
I would like to sleep there again on the way back. Anyway. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you guys are going to start, like, traveling on into the night following the river?
Yeah, I'd probably walk another couple hours away from the road and the river, or towards following the river away from the road, and then rest after a couple hours.
Alrighty. Okay, so as you're about to camp down, Everybody give me a spot check.
God damn it, Gore. Ew.
Ooh, Kipski!
I think it's mine.
Natural 20!
Oh, it's just plus one. Yeah.
Definitely roll for the bat, please.
Okay.
As well.
Yay! 4.
It's
The badger is busy foraging for insects.
Right. Okay. So let me look here. So we've got Kipski with a 27, Eagle Eyes, and the bat, which is about what I would expect. Okay. So in the distance, somewhere between the Tethumar Trail and the mountains, or somewhere between you and the mountains, you can see what appears to be a faint little black dead tree. It's a good ways off. It's probably, 400 or 500 feet from you at least. However, Ninja, you are noticing your bat is incredibly uneasy. It doesn't like it. It feels like it's scared, basically. It is definitely scared. It's about then that Kipski notices the tree almost looks like it's alive. The branches seem to be kind of moving and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to be altogether still. And then suddenly, what looks like a little black dead tree becomes almost like a big black blob. Just for a couple of seconds, and then you're aware that dozens of small little flying black creatures have just taken off from the branches. The tree wasn't alive, it was just covered in some kind of winged creature. As they begin to kind of take into the air, creating like a spiral as they fly up. Your bat by now is back on your shoulders and refusing to take flight.
Aria does not like that tree. She is very afraid.
There were other bats on those trees.
Those I don't think those were other bats. Aria doesn't act like this around other bats.
Let's move. Let's move quickly. Let's leave.
Yes, I'm very much in agreement with that.
You don't gotta be smart to know to run from this shit.
So it's like basically west of us, right?
Yes. It's Crabine from Dunland. You're gonna all dive under a very small bush.
Let's just head north.
North.
A while.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
Maybe we should start moving in the daytime. That seems safer.
So you decide not to camp here. Instead, you want to head north?
Yes.
All right.
Get a little bit
I
less
am
sleep
going
then.
to be making a spot check for
Let's fight whatever's here instead.
the things. For all the things.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 4 again.
What was that for?
A spot check for all.
Spot check?
Oh no, I'm making a
No,
spot
he's
check.
making
Okay.
a
He's
spot
making
check.
it,
Okay.
not you.
Dang.
So you're
I just
gonna
like
do
to
roll
roll.
1d.
Oh, you thought-
I'm making a GM roll.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
To see if the swarm sees you or not.
Hopefully they roll a 4.
You lucky bastards! It was a 1.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
So there we go. So funny. Alrighty. Yep. So of course, just for chat, if it's actually a GM roll, they don't get to see it. Only you guys do. All right. So amazingly enough, you lucked out, even though you got dangerously close to whatever these things were. Realizing that they're clearly hunting. You're all able to kind of like lay down flat on the ground and try to obscure yourselves. And finally, as they continue to spiral around, suddenly you realize that they've seen something. They all turn into almost like a pack and go. By the time that happens, they kind of swoop down fairly close to you, enough to get a glimpse of them, but they actually kind of go straight past you. Clearly their quarry is something other than you. They are larger than bats, although they do have bat wings. They have furry bodies, and they have huge, long proboscis noses that are probably a foot long. They're rather ugly, nasty-looking creatures, to be honest. As about 7 or 8 of them just go buzzing over in a weird, erratic fashion towards whatever it is that they're attacking. Once they've kind of gone past you, you see them zooming off in the distance, and suddenly they all begin to dive bomb. Somewhere in the far distance, you hear a faint of some small animal that just got skewered and murdered by these things as they all descend upon it.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, let's leave, please.
Make haste.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay, so you want to keep pushing on.
Yes, a couple more hours maybe.
Another couple of hours? Alrighty. By now it is pitch black. It sounds entirely too daylight foresty to me. I need to switch that one up to nighttime-y stuff. I need more owls and stuff hooting. Weird creaky
More
sounds.
owls, obviously.
Okay, alrighty.
Bring on the owls.
So by now you're kind of in the middle of an open, kind of rocky, sandy area. To the left-hand side is the mountain range. Further off to the right, you know, is the Tethumar Trail and the Dagger Hills. By now, yeah, you've been traveling all day. You've had a scuffle with kobolds. Barely managed to avoid being descended upon by strange, furry, bat-winged creatures. And yes, as Haven already pointed out, you are all starting to feel the wear and tear of a long, arduous journey.
I think I could stay up a little bit more, guys. If you want to sleep and I'll watch.
I need sleep.
Sleep.
Alrighty. So is that what you guys want to do? You're going to take a watch?
Kipsky will take first watch.
Okay. Who's going to do second?
Since she has low light.
I think I can.
Okay.
I can
So
do
you
second.
just want to
I
split
really
it
didn't-
into 2 watches then?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Half-Orc doesn't care. He's sleeping.
Sleeping for very intense.
Poor Haven is exhausted. Okay. Well, fortunately for you, you're not the only thing smart enough to stay the hell away from whatever that horde of nasty creatures were, because nothing else seems to bother you all night. At some point early dusk, as the sun begins to climb, you see the little shadowy figures of flying bird creatures go back to their tree and nest. Clearly, just like your friend's little furry bat Fink friend, they much prefer to hunt at night, and they don't seem to probably look like they have any interest in bothering anybody during the day. As the sun comes up, kind of like glancing around as you stretch and wake, squatting at the edge of a pastoral valley far to the west of you, you see something that appears to be obviously out of place. There is a huge block of ebony basalt rock sitting there, just in the middle of the open, right against the edge of the mountain range.
That doesn't look like it should be there. What is that?
Maybe it's what we're looking for.
Should we go check? I mean,
Yeah, let's go
are we
check it
even
out.
close to the? And he's gonna like reach for the map. Even close to that place yet?
You're getting pretty close
Probably,
to
yeah.
the Giant's Claw Valley for sure.
I
Well,
think
as
we're
you
getting
get
close.
closer, you see that there are, basically as you start looking at it, it seems to almost have a weird, eerie glow. It kind of shimmers with a wispy, violent radiance deep inside its core. You can see little black chunks littered around the ground, almost like people have tried to chip and break pieces off, but none of those are glowing in any way, shape, or form. It's sitting at the very top, and you notice as you get up to it, there's a valley that descends down below it. If a trail once led down into that valley, it has long since vanished. It looks like there's scrubs, pines, and large deposits. James K. Resub, 5 months. Thank you, buddy.
What? Okay, that scared me.
Go ahead,
This is
take your
not
pants off,
part
hit
of
the pipe.
I was confused.
Okay. Yeah, it's more like just you know, ferns and rocks and scrubs and pines. So you'd have to kind of pick your way down the slope. The slope, however, seems gentle enough to climb down without risking life and limb. And there are several stopping places on the way down into the valley. All the way down at the very back of the valley, however, almost seems to be what appears to be a man-made wall far in the distance with two huge statues and what looks like possibly a doorway carved into the mountainside with huge stone steps leading up to it. It is entirely possible that this could indeed be Shraven's tomb. It's then that it hits you, the Giant's Craw Valley. The big basalt obsidian rock actually looks like a big fat giant's stomach sitting there. So, the Giant's Craw. That's basically where it got its name from. It's clearly no wonder to you that anyone have ever found that tomb before now. As you can see, piles and piles of rock laying to the left and the right of it. Clearly, what had happened is a huge landslide had occurred and revealed the entrance to this tomb at some point in the recent future. It would never have been discovered at all if that landslide hadn't happened. Indeed, you couldn't see it from here. As you squint against the sun, you finally spy what, as I said, what appears to be the tomb entrance. So you have got to, as I said, there's no obvious path down here, but you can easily make your way down into the valley if you just take your time and be careful.
Well, I guess we're here.
True orc style, I'm going to be very careful going down.
All right.
That
Okay.
looks like a very big stomach.
It's,
I don't see it.
That's
I'm just gonna go.
Squint your eyes. Just squint your eyes. You'll see it.
Tilt your
Are
head
Now
over
those,
to the
everything's
left.
dark. Now
Are those
it's all
pieces-
black.
Closing your eyes.
Are those pieces of the black rock close to us?
Yeah, you can grab any of them if you want to.
Can I just
Are they
grab a
sharp?
piece?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
As I said, they're not glowing like the main rock itself. It's almost like once they're broken off, they lose their luster or whatever. But they are like very hard and very sharp edged. So honestly, if you had the inclination to do so, you could probably make like stone arrowheads or spearheads out of it, and it would probably be quite, reasonable.
Okay.
I might collect a couple too.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone that wants to grab a handful of shards, you are free to do so. Just
Yeah,
note
I'll
that you've
take
done
a
it.
couple, and
It's okay, I have a dart.
I would also like to attempt to make an Arcana check on the stone to see why it's glowing like
Okay.
that.
Go ahead. Give me a roll.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No.
It honestly defies logic to you. You don't understand how. Maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe the sun's rays somehow superheat the rock and it seems to have a glow because of it, almost like a built-in conductor or something. It's fascinating to be sure, and something you might want to think about to yourself. I might want to come back and check this out sometime in the future.
So, this rock's glowing for everyone else, right? I'm not seeing things.
Yeah, it's
There's definitely a
pretty
deep
Can I roll in nature to
violet
see if I've seen
glow
this in
the
nature
middle.
before?
Sure. Make a nature check if you wish.
Nature checks.
Nature checks. Nature checks.
Nature checks.
Sounds like a cereal.
Nature checks.
Or a really
I
crappy
don't
snack.
think I would eat that.
Full grains
No.
of 100%
With little
Yeah, that's-
brown
that's a
pellets
super healthy
that
snack.
you might
Nothing
consider
but
to be Cocoa
antioxidants.
Puffs, or 26. Okay.
Nature checks.
Nature checks.
With a 26, actually, you wouldn't necessarily say that it's a natural phenomenon. There's definitely something weird about it, but you've seen something similar before. Yeah, maybe, or even if you haven't seen it, you have heard of it before. So you wouldn't go as far as to say, oh yeah, this happens all the time. It's definitely a phenomenon, but you have heard of such things where rocks seem to have like a weird translucent glow, and usually you think, or from what you've heard, is something to do with the way it's reflecting light in a weird way. There's probably nothing magical about it at all. It's just, you know, and in fact, if you was to look at it in the night, probably wouldn't even be glowing. It probably only appears that way because of the sun right above it.
I'm pretty sure it's not anything magical. I've heard of something like this happening. It's more reflecting the light.
Oh.
You know, yeah.
He's gonna kind of like slump in disappointment a little bit.
Burst his bubble.
And I'll pat you on the shoulder.
So you guys have moved your way down. You're now in the base of the valley. You're approaching... Hold your horses there, Orky.
No, I wanted to run.
Orky McDorky.
So yeah, you're at the base. You can see kind of past to the north. You can see the entranceway to what you believe to be the tomb. There's two statues there you can clearly see now. One on the right is intact. The one on the left appears to be broken. There is a small cup of trees over to the left-hand side. Where are we? Okay. So as you're kind of looking at it, you suddenly notice the trees begin to rustle, and emerging right from the very edge of the tree line.
What the fuck?
That's probably a fairly good sentiment, actually. You see a line of humanoids. It looks like, from what they're wearing, on their shields and their livery, you can see this mark. Let me go ahead and pop this for all players. There you go.
So weird slice of pizza.
Which you clearly recognize as a Zentarim banner. They are wearing kind of like blackened armor. They're on riding horses with barding. At the very back are two robed men. One of them appears to be clearly the leader, as all the others are kind of glancing back to look at him like, what should we do? They literally are surprised as you are to see you, as you are to see them, as they literally break the tree line and like, huh, they just stop and they look down and they look back. The two robed individuals at the back look at each other and nod. And at which point, then, one of the individuals says, "Well, don't just look at them. Kill them!" And he smacks his staff across the lead man horse's rump.
Obscuring mist. Obscuring mist.
Okay, suddenly the three horsemen break into what appears to be a gallop as they start breaking out from the tree line. As that happens, from behind, you see the two robed individuals turn and disappear back into the trees like they're going the other way for some obscene purpose. It's actually...
As soon as I hear the word kill them, I would be like, oh, nope, entangled.
As they've all broken out from the tree line, you notice that there are indeed 4 of them. 4 armored riders charging towards you across the open, the open valley. You really only have one choice. Stand your ground, because to turn and run back, you'd be ridden down in no time, because there's a good, probably 700 or 800 yards between you and the edge of the valley. And even then, you're going to be trying to climb your way back up out of it through that twisty, dangerous, and difficult terrain that's probably going to be a lot harder to go up than it was to come down. But of course, they have got to cover the open ground between you and them. Which, on horses, they're going to do very quickly. So you guys have seen them come out. You heard, "Kill them!" And then the staff got whacked across the horse's backside as they suddenly start bolting down towards you. So all of you will get an action before that.
I know mine.
It's your marks.
Right. How are you guys all doing regarding time and stuff like that? Do you need to call it quits, or do you want to do this encounter?
I think I have time for this encounter personally, but I have to be up.
Well,
at
we're going to
6:30 in the
stop at
morning.
the end of this encounter anyway, because that's where I want to stop. because that'll put me where I thought we would. That's what my goal is to get to the end of this encounter for this stream. So that's what we're going to do then. Okay. So with that being said, guess what, guys? Roll for initiative.
Aww.
And we get one action before.
Yep, they have no missile fire whatsoever. They are basically just drawing swords and charging in. Alright, Snugs is on a 18.
And there we go.
Ninja on a 13. Satch tying him with a 13. Kip's on a 21. Look at Kip's.
Nice.
And
Now
I
do
will
something
roll
good.
for the Zentac.
I will try my damnedest.
Right.
If you fail, we die.
Alrighty.
They're getting entangled, or at least the horses are.
Where are my...
Nice.
Oh, I jumped ahead. That's why I was going to find them. There they are. Okay. Alright, so Kips, yep, you have the first action, so you're casting Entangle?
Right on them.
Alright. Okay,
So
so
before
you're
they
gonna
can
drop
even
it,
start
like,
their dash,
on
yeah.
them as so
We'll have to
they
get
want
off the horses at least and into the entangle as well. So we have some range to time.
Alright, 40-foot radius. And you're dumping it right there.
That is glorious.
And we will
Well.
move that to the map layer. Okay, so immediately the vines come up and twist and turn around the horse legs and stuff like that. So they are going to get to make a check to avoid, well, not avoid, but deal with. Let's just say that. A second. Let me just pull your entangle up again real quick.
That's all right.
There you go. It's more or less right?
Yeah.
Close enough. Alright, so the creatures can break free and move half as normal speed by using a forehand action to make it do so. A creature that succeeds on a reflex save is not entangled but can still move at half, so we have to make reflex saves first. And it's the horses that are going to be making the reflex save. Because they're actually what is entangled. So let's see what a horse gets, shall we?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't actually know what the reflex save of a horse is, believe it or not.
What kind of horses are they? Just
They
regular
are
heavy?
war horses.
War horse, heavy
They're
or light?
light war horses. So the reflex
Reflex,
save on
plus 4.
those is +4. Yep. Alrighty, so D20 plus 4.
Fail. Fail.
And we'll go from left to right. Okay, so first one is entangled. So I'm going to make a note here. That horse is entangled. The second one is entangled. The third one is entangled. What is this?
My lord.
What have you done to my red dice?
Come on.
Okay, so the one on the end basically is not entangled. It can move at half range. These three, on the other hand, are entangled. I'm not going to token them. We know which ones they are.
You've saved us.
Okay.
My lord.
All right. So
Druids.
the vines begin to writhe up out of the ground, twist and turn, and lock them where they are. Okay, good job. Snugs.
So is this just a flat area? It looks like just completely open.
It's not flat. There's like little brushes and little bushes, like little fern bushes, and there's a few rocks and crags and stuff like that. There's nothing big enough to kind of like duck behind, but there is stuff that if you was to kind of get down on all fours, you could kind of like disappear behind rocks and stuff like that. There's nothing more than about 2 foot tall.
Okay. Well, considering I'm smaller, what's the closest thing around that would be for me to hide behind?
Probably this pile of brush over here.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna cut and just run for the brush over there.
And I dive into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Move yourself there then. Right. It is the Zins. Right. These three. The horse. So we'll deal with those first. The horses are going to try to break free from the vines, first of all. They're going to do that regardless because they're horses and they don't like being held in place. And they have a strength of 16, so it's...
As opposed to large dogs who don't mind, horses hate being held in place.
Wife owns a horse, can confirm.
Right.
Shut up, Ruby.
Okay. First one.
Ah!
Oh, he's out. Second one.
Ooh. Here comes another 20.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah,
And the
the
third
four.
one. Nope. Okay.
Oh, man.
So
Well,
the
bought us
one on
most
this
of a
edge
round.
is breaking out, and this one had already passed, so he's moving at half movement. So he's going to move. So he gets to move to about here. Let's see, half movement on a gallop. So actually, he's going to get pretty damn close. He won't get to attack, but he will get to melee range. And this one is going to be at a breakout, but he can't really move far. The other two are still entangled. Okay, so the riders on the horses are going to spend... They're going to basically try to get their horses out for another round. So those two are going to stay back there and attempt to coax their horses to break free, especially seeing that two of their companions have successfully managed to do so. Okay, so Jakal, you're next. So literally, you can see one of them that broke free from the vines is like charging forward with his sword raised. It would be in his left hand, and he's about to kind of like come riding past you and take a swing at you as he goes by. But you get to act first.
Alright, so yeah, I would definitely lift up my little tiny buckler baby and hope it's gonna do its thing. But I'll swing at him.
All right, so you're going to take
In
a
range.
counter swing at him as he attempts to ride by. Go for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add +5 for that. See how that goes. Oh, that's not bad.
19, a solid blow, sir.
Excellent. Let's see how solid that blow is. Oh, not very. But it's a,
I
it's a
guess
smack.
with the momentum of the horse, it kind of made it an awkward angle. But you still gave him a gash on his thigh for 6 points of damage.
All right.
Nothing to sneeze at. All right, Haven.
Alright, so this guy's already here. This guy's still running. I'm going to drop a flare right in front of his horse's face.
Okay. So with
Stole
an
my
attempt to flare
idea,
the horse
Ninja.
itself, go for it.
So,
Okie dokie. And he has to make a...
it's Fortitude 13.
And a fortitude on one of these little dudes is... Where's his saves? It's
Fortitude's
+6,
pretty
I'm afraid.
good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
They're being light war horses and stuff.
You never
Nope,
know.
unfortunately, the barding that's kind of covering his eyes shielded it from the bulk of the blast. So it did not affect it, I'm afraid. Okay. With that being said, it's Kip's.
Legitimately, I was going to literally do the same thing that Haven did and flare on that horse.
The same one?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. So basically, we're doing the same thing. And I'm afraid neither affected that horse.
Well,
That barding is just... The eye barding, obviously, is giving it... it's reflecting it back. It's not actually blinding the poor creature.
I'm actually going to have Honey and set her to defend Haven.
Okay. Go ahead. Move her. Your badger
have
is
your own-
mighty small underneath the horse hooves of one of these chargers, that's for sure.
Honey is probably going to fuck off.
Okay,
yeah,
Snubs.
Haven's just like, what the fuck?
Okay, so you dived and ducked behind the bushes. The rider that come charging down the hill headfirst at Jakal seems very focused on him at this point. So what do you wish to do? This would be Petrius.
So do the riders get any sort of advantage being on the horse? Just movement?
They're a lot faster, obviously, and they can get bonuses, but they're not. It doesn't help them. Doesn't hinder your ability to hit them.
Okay. So so my idea is to pop out from behind the bush, run up to the horse that's engaging them, try to jump up and like double dagger and drag or push the rider off the horse.
Okay, so if you look at the terrain, here's what we can say, right? This is kind of raised up right here. And that is from here to there. It's only about, yeah. Oh, that should be, I think this. Let's see. Okay. So if you want to, yeah, you can kind of jump down off the bush, run, and then like try to use this rock here to propel yourself.
Yeah.
And like leap off of it to try to land on the back of the horse. Okay. Give me a jump skill check first.
Do it.
See how epic you can pull this off.
Alright.
I have faith.
And I have... Oh, this is not going to be good.
Come on.
Right,
We have faith in you. Give us some good dice here. A 10. Okay. So you run, you jump. Okay, you're not getting far enough to where you can land on the horse. But if you want to like try to bring the two daggers down either into the back of the horse or the back of the rider, you could do that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. It's to the rider, and then just basically you use the momentum to get him off the horse. Was kind of the idea.
Alright, let's see if you can... Well, you've got two choices. You can either grapple him to try to take him off the horse, or you can stab him twice.
My strength is terrible, so probably just use my knives to stab him.
There you go. Alright, go for it.
Alright. And is that... No, he's not flanked in that position with him being there, right? There's no extra bonuses? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be across the plane front.
Yep, okay.
Solid. And the second one? 14 from behind. Let's see, where's the AC? That's a hit. From behind, it is a hit. Okay, you hit him twice.
Alright.
One solid and the other one is just in there. So you gotta... I didn't mean to move him. Get back. Get back and be stabbed, damn it. Okay. So roll me 2 damage dice.
Yeah.
4, good start.
Ooh.
And 2, so that's 6. Okay, so yeah. So as this guy charged in, Jakal slashed at him, and then you guys suddenly see Petrius running and leap off the rock. Stabs down with 2 daggers. One of them kind of impales and digs deep into the back of his armor between 2 of the chinks, drawing blood. The other one kind of glides and cuts a slice down the back of his left arm. He is bleeding profusely and is seriously injured and wounded at this point. Okay, good job. It is their turn. But his retaliatory strike as he swings his sword, he was already kind of committed to it as he was charging forward. With a mighty swoosh of his sword, 19, he slams the blade into Jakal.
Yeah, that's what happens.
For 10 points of damage.
Ow.
With the weight of the horse and the solid blow, it's like
I did my job.
And Jakal is almost spun around as a little pile of blood spits from his mouth.
That's rough.
Upon doing that, he is bringing his horse to a grinding halt right here and turning it ready to face and fight you in melee combat off of the horseback. This one is basically going to just be making a full move. You go from the center. Yep. Okay, he is
This is where
going...
Honey dies, guys.
This might be where Haven dies.
Well, he isn't really acknowledging Honey as a target.
Oh, no.
But the horse may make a separate attack. to stamp your badger into oblivion should your badger bite the horse. All right, so he comes charging over, and with a low arcing swipe at Haven.
No!
Yep.
No! You still might live.
4
I'm
points
going.
of damage.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
You're up.
Right, yep,
yeah.
he swings down, the tip of his sword digs into your right shoulder and kind of opens up a large wound. It's not all the way down to the bone, but it is a bleeder for sure. And it hurts like hell. Alright, the other two, they are spending this round once again attempting to break their horses free. They're gonna get 20s.
Yeah, thank God.
Okay. I need to go ahead and do this, which I had on the other map, but I forgot to put it on here. Just give me someone that'll work. I don't need anything too fancy. What are you buggers? Okay, so... Perfect, you'll do. Alright. Why is that gone blue? There, okay. Alright, seeing as their horses are unable to, they are going to be doing something different next turn. I'll put them here on their horses, ready for whatever it is they decide to do. Okay. Okay. Satch. So,
All right.
Jakal, after eating longsword from the Zentarim.
Yeah, it's not. It
Horseman.
wouldn't be the first time, you know.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna swing at this guy. We gotta get rid of him. So
Okay.
priority is get rid of him.
And you
nice-
strike
nice
him.
hit.
So, reaching up and lunging up with your sword.
Or nice
Okay,
damage.
nice.
Yeah.
The longsword, as he's poised and raised, ready for his second strike, the longsword slides up at an angle, goes below his lowest floating rib, slides up into his heart. As you pull the sword out, he slumps down off of his horse, dead.
Got him.
He is deceased.
Got him.
There's a horse here, but I'm just using a different token for the horse, just temporarily.
Slap the horse on the ass, get it out of here.
Well, as soon as
ride
he
it.
falls
We can
off,
ride
the
it.
horse is
Is that
going
a
to
free
kind of
action?
like
Yeah.
just... That horse is just going to kind of like trot off forward at least a few feet anyway. Okay, good shot. Haven, what do you want to do?
Okay.
Oh, we haven't rolled. We need initiative for your badger.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
you're right.
If he
Yeah,
wants
say
to
we'll-
fight.
I always
mean,
forget.
it's the-
I did too.
I should know better. I've played a druid before.
15. Okay, he actually should have gone right before the Zent, so you can roll for him now. Because he's still going to go before
He's gonna...
Ninja.
Honey is going to try to jump up and claw her way up the horse towards the
Okay,
rider.
in that case, I need a climb check for your badger.
This is where he dies. Honey, I love you. What's Honey's climb? Fuck.
Just be your strength, because badgers don't get climb.
Nope.
Oh, that's gonna suck then.
They're not particularly gifted climbers, I'm afraid.
No.
She's a great escape artist.
So,
20 minus 2.
uh,
No, minus 1. So,
What's
Oh,
your
wow. Okay,
her strength's yeah.
amazingly-
her strength's a 1.
Is it minus 2?
no, it's
okay.
only minus 1.
Okay, either way, amazingly, using the barding as almost some kind of ladder, the badger actually does manage to climb up.
Man, honey takes defend fairly seriously.
Yeah,
Move out of the front so that it is actually
That is
physically able to
insane.
do so. And does indeed manage to, unbeknownst to the rider, it takes it a full turn to do it, but it manages to get up on the back of the horse. That was a hell of a roll.
Good job, honey. I'm proud of you.
All
Mama's
right,
proud of
now
you,
we'll
honey.
go back to Ninja. Okay, Haven, what do you want to do?
It's an action to drink the potion. So,
It is.
oh goodness.
Drink the potion, get DFO.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink the potion and get as far from this dude as I can.
Okay. How much of the potion are you drinking?
I'll just take a quick swig, and so 1 dose.
Okay, all right. Just making sure you remembered that there were 3 doses in that thing before you downed the whole damn thing, and pissed away 68 healing on someone that only needs like 5.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
gonna-
2d8 healing. Roll it.
Nice. Nice.
What a waste. He clearly has got the most potent version of it. You are
Your
fully
potion's better.
fully healed, but that is your turn. All right,
Yeah.
Kips. Kipski, what do you want to do?
Come on, kid.
Watching your badger climb up the thing.
I love that badger. I mean, she's fucking.
It's a ninja badger.
I am actually going to step forward, pat the hat fork on the arm, and use Cure Light Wounds.
Okay.
and say, go get him.
All right. So d8 plus 2.
Roll half as good as.
That
Oh,
is-
nice.
Holy
Nice.
crap! 44.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a hell of
wow.
a cure light wounds. I want one of those. I want an 82-sided dice.
You get 8 back.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Alright,
There you
yeah,
go.
that's-
It's a good heal.
that's
Alrighty.
good.
Go get him.
Feeling the druidic natural healing, you feel a little bit better. Snugs.
So the
So the one
The
that
rider's
you were
still
stabbing
on
is
that
now
horse,
dead
right?
on the ground, and his horse bolted forward.
Okay.
There's 2 over here. What they look like they're doing, they're actually climbing up into the saddle, like to get their feet on the saddle.
okay, they're gonna.
Bastard's gonna jump.
Yeah.
They're gonna jump. They're gonna try to jump out of the tangle.
Question is, can I make a 15-foot jump?
15-foot jump. That is a jump.
Yep. Of course, they are on the back of a horse, and they will have momentum. The question is, will they... They probably won't clear it. Will they actually end up bulldozing out of it? Well, they don't know. That's their concept, anyway. They know that staying in there is not a good idea.
Okay.
But it does look like that's about what they're... It does look like that's that is about to be what they're going to do, yes.
Can I try to get on the horse that's running away that has nobody on it?
You can run over and get the horse if you want.
Yeah, I want to get on that horse.
Okay, in that case, go over to the horse and give me an animal handling check.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Ah.
If Haven could realistically climb on a full-size horse, that's what he'd be doing too.
Hey, the badger did it. Don't be
Where
defeated.
is where is animal handling? I don't.
Skills, very
It's
top.
under your skills.
I don't even have it at all.
It's handle animal is what it is.
Oh, handle. Okay.
Oh, that's right. They changed.
Got it.
But
okay.
it is a check skill, which
Yes,
means if you
yes.
don't have anything in it, you can't try it.
I do have a 2 from my charisma.
Okay, but you don't have it. You didn't spend any points in it.
No, I did not.
Okay, in that case, you're gonna just have to try to grab the reins and restrain the horse. Then.
Okay.
So if that's the case, and that's what you're going to try instead,
Yeah.
give me a grapple check to grab the reins.
Okay. That's in.
You'll be doing a d20 plus your basic attack bonus plus your strength.
Okay. My strength's a -1, so D20 -1.
Yeah. Okay. Go
Okay.
for it.
Nice.
That'll do it.
Nice.
Natural 20!
With a natural 20.
gotta
This is a
be the
perfectly
camels,
feasible thing for you to successfully do. So,
I got a
so
horse.
you run
The
over and
camels.
just grab the reins and yank them to stop the horse from charging off. And you kind of like the horse kind of like turns around as you pull on the reins, and you now have potentially a horse to jump up on if you wish. Okay. Badger. So the badger is on the back of the horse, and now able to attack its rider if that's what it wants to
Badger's
do.
gonna go for head.
Oh,
Bloody badger. Go for it.
Alrighty.
He's taken from behind, so a 14 is what he needs to hit.
14. I assume that's not flanking, so where are you?
He's
Okay,
up on the horse. It's not going to apply.
24. Nope. But
Nope. Claw 1. Claw 2 is a
Yes.
hit. 1 point of damage. Ouch. Scratch.
and
and a potential
roll
bite.
d20 minus 1.
For 12. Nope. Okay. He scratches him for 1 point of damage.
He knows he's there. He's about to get tossed.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
And it is their turn. Okay, so yes, he is going to make a grab attempt. What is your badger's AC?
AC's 15.
He's not going to get his full attack, so he reaches round behind him. He's not looking, so I'm going to give him a minus on that, so it's actually give him no pluses. Does a straight d20 roll. Okay, he reaches out and tries to grab hold of the badger with his offhand, but is unable to grab it as the badger just kind of like shuffles round to the side. Okay,
Honey is the best.
Love it.
Freaking safe haven.
okay, these two guys are going to make jump checks.
Fail.
And I'm going to say the DC, I mean, they're way up. A 20, they will get to the edge of it, but it's got to be a 20. They got to get at least a 20 to like leap close enough to where even if they land in it, they'll roll out and out the other side. Nope. Right, so this guy jumps and comes falling down into it, so he'll have to make his own check to try to get out of it.
I hope their checks are worse than horses.
And then he leaps as well, and he's in it as well. And their checks are worse than the horses.
Yes.
Alright, the one at the bottom. No. And the second one. Nope. Okay, so basically the one that jumped, this one that jumped off his horse, he lands, it wraps around him almost instinctively and he falls flat on his face. Like, the other one like lands but far enough into it to where it kind of, again, it immediately begins to wrap and tangle around his calves and his thighs and his lower waist. And he's like, ah, damn it! And you can start seeing him begin to try to hack his way out. But clearly, they are still stuck within your tangled, wicked web. Alright, we have this dude here. Okay, he attacked the badger, so that was his attack. So, Satch, what does Jakal wish to do?
Help his buddy out here.
Help the
Kind of
badger.
do this guy right, yeah. Gonna help
Okay.
out the badger. Badger knows what's up,
badger.
so... Do I get a flank on this because of the badger, or no?
No.
But
Nothing on the
no,
other
you
side
know.
of it. I'm not giving you a flanking attack bonus because of a badger.
I didn't need it.
You didn't need it anyway. 23, solid hit. Oh, nice. 13
Nice.
plus the 1. It's disgusting to say, but because of the 1 point that the badger did, you actually just killed him. 14 hit points is what he had.
Badger OP.
Yep, so...
Honey.
Lord.
You're disgusting. That badger.
Honey, it's
Alright, he
Shaggy, how does
slumps
it
down
feel?
dead.
I imagine Shaggy's like shiggling right now.
man.
The shiggles are
Jakal.
real. Oh my god. You've like lost your shit. Okay, yeah, so basically that one damage. So yeah, he reaches around to try to grab the thing, and as he's doing so, Jakal comes running over, and as he turns, he runs straight onto the business end of Jakal's sword and slumps down dead off of the horse.
Can I take the stupid one alive?
With that,
It was
the
all part
badger
of the
just kind of
master
like
plan.
slips. You know, he can either sit up there on top of the horse if he wants to, or he can slide down to his whatever he wants to do.
Badger nips at his arm and then climbs down.
Plop. It's like Jakal swears the badger just gave him a sideways glance. Like,
I'm just like, I got you.
all right, Snugs.
Where do we get
So
badger
for your
armor?
move, you can get up on the horse.
I do want to get on the horse, yes.
Okay. And
Are we
then what do you
forgetting
want to
me, or-
do with the horse?
Well, I'm gonna look over at everybody else today. Guys, I'm on a horse. Guys, hey,
2 copper per
look at
pony
me.
ride.
guys, look.
And she's like, good job, do something.
It's like golf clap.
How far is my range on a horse?
Your horse's so basically your horse's move is 60 feet for normal.
Okay. Am I able to?
Now I will say this: if you
yes.
try to gallop on this terrain, you will have to make a ride skill check. If you
Okay.
just trot around, you won't. But because
Okay,
because the terrain is so rocky and dangerous,
Right. And trotting would still get me 60 feet, just at a slower pace.
trotting will get you 30.
30. Okay, then I am going to trot.
Before you guys get too far into that, Gore, Snug is after Milk in the initiative, isn't he?
No, Snug is before.
Yeah, I think I edged her out by 1, right?
I think so. Doesn't matter to me,
Milk is
really.
on 15, I think. No, hang on, where are we? No,
I think
Kips
it's
was
Badger.
first. She's 21.
Yeah, and so
Did we skip
Okay.
her?
it went Satch, because Satch went before me, and then you skipped over me and.
Oh, okay.
Milk went
I
straight
do
to Snug.
apologize. I did skip you. Sorry. Yeah, what do you want to do, buddy?
I was going to Ray of Enfeeblement this guy after moving
Okay.
to here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I need to make a range touch, which is
Yeah, you are right. I do
just
apologize.
+4. So for me. Oh come on! I can't even hit a range touch attack.
I'm
Ah.
afraid you missed. Hey,
I'm-
but there are some really stupid vines. So
Hey, you're not stupid.
they are now. He enfeebled them. All right. So then it went Kips. Then Snug. Okay. So yeah, back to Snug.
Okay. Y'all still looking? I'm still on the horse. So I'm gonna turn. So if
Where
on
do
the
you-
subsequent, well, go ahead.
Yeah,
What
where do you
was
want to move the horse to?
I think I just want to move, like, if I can only go 30 feet, maybe like here. Yeah, about there.
Okay.
With me on it, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I'll do from there.
Okay, so you're just going to kind of like navigate your way
Get
through
myself
the
in
rocks and
position.
stuff to get.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
As I like very unskillfully like bounce up and down on it as I'm trying to handle it into position, as I've not ridden a horse, I don't think ever.
All right, Badger.
Badger is looking mighty proud of itself. And it's
Badger
kind
could
of
speak. It would say, "I was on a horse too."
You're riding a horse? I'm not impressed. The Badger's gonna move up and just wait. If one of them starts coming out, it's gonna charge and start attacking.
Okay. It is their turn. Right, they are going to have to make another check. So
Badger has yet to rage.
no one's. That's because he's not been hit. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
And no. Okay, so the top one is still entangled. This one has broken free. So he is getting out. He only gets to move half his movement, and he is just going to move to there, and that's where he is. Okay. And the other one cannot move. He's still entangled. Alrighty. It is Jakal.
All right. I can't really see through horses, so I don't know that the other guy's up. I'm gonna go ahead and attack this guy if I can reach him.
Okay.
I don't think I can. I'm just gonna head that way.
Go from your
So-
head.
Oh, I
to-
can. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
it's easy.
you can, but you've got to get in the entangled crap if you want to be able to do it.
Oh, then I'll
To
just
get
wait
into
outside
melee
of
with
it,
him,
so
you're going to have to climb into the crap with him.
Yeah, good
Unless
point.
you've got a weapon that's got a 10-foot range.
You have a dart.
I do have a dart,
Do it.
A dart.
but I don't want to lose my dart into the entanglement.
That's fair.
It's magical entanglement. It just disappears.
Oh, you're right.
One
So when it
dart.
goes away, I'll find my dart if I miss, which I will.
I have
So I'm
to
gonna look at him
do it.
and just kind of smile like, I've been doing this for a day and a half now. I'm just gonna reach into my little set. I got this dart. Hold still.
And I'm
Throw your token of a dart. You know, on how we roll darts, typically only roll ones anyway, so...
I get a +1 to this.
You could do as much damage as my badger.
Here it goes.
Hey!
You actually hit him with the dart.
I didn't even check to see how much damage it does because it's so stupid.
It's like D2, it's something pathetic.
It says D4. It says D4.
It's D4
It is
plus
a
your
D4
strength.
for it. It's
It's
D4
a
plus
strength?
strength because of the thrown
Plus,
weapon.
because it's a thrown weapon. Yeah.
It's how much oomph you can put
Oh, dang,
behind
then
it.
he gets +4. Holy crap.
Potentially he could 8 point the... Holy crap! 7
Wow.
points from a bloody dart! Thrown with serious vigor, the dart goes flying through and sticks in the
wanna
guy's
sit down.
neck.
Just sit down. Just sit down.
He pulls the dart from his neck and just tosses it to the ground.
See, I would have thrown it back. That's the difference between you and me.
He's like, oh, it's down here somewhere. Hang on, let me find it.
Don't give him ideas.
Okay, so, yes, it is now Haven.
The one time.
Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna magic missile.
Okay, who are you magic missiling?
Oh, my original target. I can't miss with that at least.
Nope. Alright, roll the damage. D4 plus 1.
Oh my god.
Oh, you did roll it, sorry. 3 points on top of the 7. Okay. He is still alive, but somewhat seriously injured. He is charred by magic and stabbed by dart. It is Kip's turn. Kipski.
Kipski is going to set down her staff,
Okay.
pull out her sling, step up a little bit, and throw at this guy.
Time to try to do a little David and Goliath. Go for it.
Where are you? Stats. Ranged.
Oh,
It's a hit.
nice.
Is it? No, it's still strength.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's how far. It's how hard you can let it go.
not very hard.
Hey, 2 points. It's better than nothing. All right.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got your strength minus, and it only does D4,
It's only a -1.
so it should be 3. Right?
Yeah, 3. Yeah. I don't know why I keep it doing -2.
I don't either, but there we go. All right. Okay, Snugs.
Okay. I'm going to look at the guy who's out of the entanglement, and I'm going to say, okay. So if I can I go past him and attack and continue moving past him? Will he get a opportunity of attack on that if I'm on a horse? Or attack of opportunity, excuse me.
If you ride right by him and swing at him, yes.
He will. Okay. But if I just ride up to him, then that's fine. Okay,
Or
so
you
I'm
can
going
ride up to him and engage him.
right. So I'm going to.
But
Petrus is
technically,
gonna go,
if you do a ride by, it counts as a charge, so you get +2. That's the difference.
okay, but then he gets a attack of opportunity though.
Yes.
Don't want that. Okay, so I'm just gonna ride up to him. Petrus is gonna go, yeah, but then just slowly trot his way up.
It's all dramatic.
Yeah, it's a very loud with those he can muster, and then he just kind of again
I don't know
unstably trots.
why, but I visualize Petrus the character as what's his name from I draw a blank. Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Sheldon? Oh
Yeah,
no,
that's what I
that hurts.
visualize. I'm afraid. Like
No.
Now he's more like Leonard.
But yes, with all the he could possibly
with all
do,
the
he does
gusto
that
he
trot-
can
yes,
imagine,
all of
he
it.
slowly trots over.
And then rolls, and then his attack.
I think this Zent that you're fighting, his name's Will Wheaton as well. So okay, so yep, you can make an attack on him.
Do I get any bonuses for being on horseback?
No,
No,
not if
okay.
you just ride up and stab at him.
Sure.
12. Okay, you lunge down, but he manages to pull his shield up over his head to parry the blow. Okay, it is Badger's turn.
Badger.
Badger.
Mushroom. Oh, Badger only has a 20-foot wind speed, doesn't he? Badger.
Yeah, he doesn't move very far.
So if we got him armor, that's slow him down.
A war badger.
He's gonna run up and get ready to attack, but he's not gonna attack us yet.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and then you get enlarged cast on him, and.
Yes. There we go.
There we go.
Ninja.
Alrighty. It is the Zent's turn. Okay, this one, you can't really do much about Jakal attacking him, so he is still going to try to break out. And he fails, so he's still stuck in there. Okay.
You can surrender if you want. Yeah.
Let's see. I need to roll for the horses too, don't I?
Badger projectile.
Oh.
Just throw the badger.
That one didn't roll.
Are we going back to the hexabomb fight? I'm gonna throw Cal.
Okay. This horse has gotten out, and it's just kind of like. Get rid of this now. It's just kind of like ridden out by itself, and it's just over here, hanging out. That one's still in there. Okay, this guy is going to attempt to swing up and stab at Petrius, which he does so with gusto and with great effect.
One.
Hitting you for... Oh, wrong dice, ignore that.
Oh god.
9 damage.
Oh, it's scary.
Sorry, everyone. Let's try that again, shall we? Probably
9
more.
Yeah.
3. There you go.
Yes.
Tis but a scratch. My damage dice have been terrible today.
I loved them. They've been great.
We're gonna get a
all
TPK
right.
next week.
Dart thrower extraordinaire, Jakal, it is you, my friend.
So I'm just gonna start circling around, and I'm just gonna be like, "You want to know the funny thing? That was my only dart."
He looks
I
at
don't
you
know.
and he's like, well, if you help me get out of here, we can, like, go at it mano a mano.
And I'll yell from the background, there are rocks on the ground.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, "Tell you what, you're pretty much gonna lose if you surrender now. Make it painless."
He looks at you and he says, where's Zentarim? We don't know the meaning of the word surrender.
Okay, fine. And then I'm just gonna look for a rock. I mean, I've probably wasted enough time this turn to not actually do anything with it, but I'm just gonna pick up a rock
Look
and just be
around,
like, "All
there's
right,
a nice
fine."
sharp-looking rock I can throw at you in a minute. Okay. All right, Haven, what you doing, bud?
Oh my lord. Let's
Don't
try
worry, Haven, you'll
the
come into your
crossbow.
own in the second half of this story.
It's 0 guys. Oh, what's funny is it doesn't matter if it's roll 20, I can't roll.
Roll 20 hates you as much as it does Shaggy, doesn't it?
Apparently, so yes.
That's why
we're
they
just going-
share the window, yeah.
That's why he's
just
got
gonna-
magic missile, because he doesn't have to roll for it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna plunk a crossbow bolt at him and
Okay, shoot at him with the crossbow. Go for it.
Do it. Oh.
nope.
Nope, unfortunately.
I
At least it actually cleared and left the crossbow this time. Didn't hit anything, but hey, at least you got a shot off. Okay, Kips.
Kips is gonna, since the horse is in the way now, instead she's gonna throw one at that guy.
Alright, sling at that dude instead. Go for it.
So, ling.
You're a good shot with that
Nice.
sling. It's a shame it doesn't do any more damage.
Right. 4 minus 2.
Load it with, like, axes or something.
1 damage.
So it's 1, yeah. 11. This poor guy is being slowly pin-pricked to death. Okay, it is Piteous, as you are locked in combat with this dude.
Yes. Can I like yell something at this guy or try
You
to
can yell,
convince
yeah,
him?
you can talk to them for 6 seconds as a free action. As you're
Okay.
doing stuff, you can yell and holler.
Okay. I would say, as you can see, I'm on a horse and you are not. I suggest you give up and we can just end this right now.
Okay, he looks at you and he says, "That's one of our bloody horses!" And you can make your 2 attacks at him if you wish.
Yes, I do. I wish. No.
Nope. And
Wow.
no.
Okay.
All right, unlucky. Not so good with the
Okay.
daggers. See, you should have spent more time stabbing, less time running your mouth.
Throw the badger at him.
Right?
Yeah, get the bad words
It is
out,
their
remember.
turn. Okay, so here's what he's going to do. Seeing as you have done that, he's not attacking you this turn. He is going to try to grapple you and pull you off the horse.
Ooh. Man,
This
this goes in the
crack is-
entanglement.
That's what you get for goading him.
Yep.
I wasn't trying to go
Oh,
with
but
him.
he rolled a crappy 8, so
Yeah.
you got to beat an 8 with a d20 minus 1, I guess.
20 minus 1.
Still pretty good odds. Still pretty good. There you
Okay. It's difficult. He has to like tug and pull a couple of times, but eventually you see Peter's like as he pulls you down off the horse, and the horse just takes a few trots, clip clop over here. Okay, you're not on the ground. You're still on your feet. And you almost landed on the badger. Roll for falling damage for badger. I'm afraid you are down. Off your horse. The other one is attempting to break out yet again. He is powerless to do anything until he gets out of there, and he's still in
sorry,
there.
bastard.
Can't get out. Alrighty. Oh, badger. We got to roll for him.
Yep. Badger.
Badger's going to use this distraction very, very effectively. Take a hop on to Doug's character and go straight for face again.
So he's going to
Just
climb.
climb Petrius and jump
He's
off.
going to use.
You want to? Okay, so he wants to climb Petrius.
No, he's going to basically hop and then hop.
Okay,
Then
and then dive at him.
Yeah.
Okay, then he'll only get the bite attack.
Bite. Okay.
Yep.
Well.
Use Petrius as a dart.
He like skip, and misses. Close though. All right. It is Jakal's. You can throw your rock now.
I'm just gonna go like, I'm sorry.
Rock is a D2,
Okay.
but it is thrown, so you do get your strength bonus behind it.
Yep, so that's D20 plus 5 there. Alright, 4. 4. Okay.
It's not a +1 magical rock, incidentally.
Dang it. Dang it.
That was the one next to it. You picked up the wrong one.
Dang it. Not again.
Hurl your rock, but it misses him and goes skipping off into the entangled vines.
Did it make a thud?
It did. And back to Haven. Want to take another shot with that crossbow?
Yes, I am.
And I should have gotten a
He
crossbow.
He can't use a medic that often per day, so he's trying to be conservative because there's still those other 2 dudes.
Yes. There we
Hey,
go.
nice.
Finally.
Alright.
For 5. Okay, the crossbow bolt finally flies through the air. Think Skyrim. As it slows down right before impact. Hits the guy right in the mouth, busts out some of his teeth, sticks out the other side of his cheek as he spins around spiral fashion and lands face down dead in the entanglement.
I think we found a new occupation for you, Haven.
I've never hit anything with this before. That was awesome.
It's cool. I want another one. Okay.
Cool, I hit this one.
Kips.
Got magic user apparently coming up soon. She's
Petrius,
like
hold the
she
other
was-
one down.
She was midway into like throwing her swing at that guy there for the crossbow, went whoosh, and then killed it. So she goes, oh, okay. So she turns and then swings at the other guy.
Okay, you might. Yeah, go for it. I'll let you.
I mean, I'll take a minus if you want to give me a minus.
It doesn't matter,
Natural
does it?
20!
It doesn't matter.
It'd be a 20.
It might even crit. Try to confirm it.
1d.
Critical.
Oh, I just gotta hit it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, make another normal to hit roll, and if you.
Okay, let's go.
Natural 20!
So how much did I roll for damage?
What?
All of the
You
damage.
basically roll the damage dice twice, but as soon as you roll 2 20s in a row, just whatever the maximum total of the damage you can do with 2 dice plus.
Minus
So-
2. 4.
So the dice is a D4, right?
Yeah.
And not what do you normally? Is it D4?
No, it's -1.
D4 -1. So it's 3. Is the max it can do with a single.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hit him for 6 then.
Sweet.
All
Of
right.
all the things
nice.
to crit with,
Huso,
the thing
thanks
with
for
the
cheer, buddy.
negatives.
No, I crit with a little rock.
Oh, I
am.
forgot. I owe you one of these or something too. I haven't been playing these in a while.
So funny.
Was that a crit or something?
There you go. Okay, it is Snugs.
So,
So you're yanked down off the horse, but you're not prone. But you're now in melee combat with him. A stone just buzzed past your ear and like smacked him square in the temple as he's like,
being extremely upset that he was pulled off of his prize horse, he is just going to be enraged and just go with both daggers and just swing at him.
Okay,
That's what I would do.
Yep.
go for it.
Oh my god.
Aww.
See, it's trouble getting enraged. Doesn't work.
What is happening?
The
What
badger's
is
waiting for his
happening?
opportunity.
The badger is prone.
Oh,
and
that's
ready.
what it is. Okay.
Yeah, the badger looks at you and goes, "I've got this."
Please proceed.
All right, 3
He's
attacks
like-
for the badger, because badger is next.
Time for the badger.
Miss.
Oh no.
No.
Get the bite.
No.
Just get the bite.
And then
Miss. And
No!
the bites.
Oh my God.
Sorry, badger.
What is
Apparently,
happening?
this area right here is really difficult to fight on. It must be really bad terrain. It is his turn to retaliate.
gonna
He is
friggin'
not
kill
going
you.
to attempt to hit the badger. He is obviously going to hit Petrius, or attempt to.
No.
Misses you. He's too mad at you right now for stealing his horse.
I'm mad at him for stealing my horse.
Who's got the documents of ownership? Okay, Satch. So,
Yep.
Jakal.
It's my 20 move speed. I can get just up to him, man.
Okay, so you're basically wedging yourself in there so you can get a swat at this dude as well. Go for it.
And I'm just-
Shoulder
I'll be like,
barging his way in there.
Forget it. Stab with fancy sword that I was
Okay.
recently gifted that I like quite a lot.
But as I said, bad terrain. It's hard to fight in that one little spot there. You should all just move.
I give up. I'm just gonna leave.
All right, Haven. Yeah, I mean, it's a massive melee over there. You've got the half orc, you've got Petrius, you've got the Zentarim guy. Periodically, there's a little dart of grey and white in amongst it. Probably not the smartest thing to shoot a crossbow bolt into it, to be honest.
That being said, Haven, if you hit this guy, none of us
I
can.
couldn't hit that if I tried.
Oh my goodness.
That's quite the clusterfuck. I'm just gonna try and flare him so that he can't wail on Petrius.
Okay, so you're gonna try to flare him.
Yes.
All right,
It always comes down to that one.
and that is a fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
For
13.
real, right?
And it's a fail! Okay, so he is dazed, so he has a -1 on his attacks now. Okay, you helped. Chips.
Can't do a whole heck of a lot more from here.
You did it.
Alright, Kipski.
Kipski looks at this massive mob of people on this
It's
poor
probably
guy.
the same
She's
thing,
like,
trying to pick out that one guy in amongst them all.
she gets rid of the entanglement. She's like, guys, hurry up.
Okay. That is another horse, so there. Okay. Alrighty. Snugs.
Can I just move just around to the other side of him without incurring a attack of opportunity since I'm not
As long as you do
disengaging?
not leave
No.
As long as you don't leave his melee, then yes.
Yep. I'm just going to the other side of him.
But if you do that, of course, he'll maneuver with you.
Yeah, but would he be flanked at that point between Jakal and myself?
Well, it depends on how he moves.
Okay. Okay.
Because he'll get a move too, so...
I'll try to get around behind him.
Okay. So you're going to kind of go this way or this way?
Yeah, probably to the left. Down and around there. Okay.
So you're going that way?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you can still make an attack on him as long you can make a single attack as long as you do, because you're not moving far.
Right. Is there so are you gonna give a flank bonus to that or no?
He's gonna turn like this,
Uh-huh.
so you can have the flank bonus, but it won't be a it won't be like a backstab.
That's fine. So it'd be +2 for flank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you're like dividing
need all
his
the help.
attention.
I need all the help I can get.
All right. You're one short, I'm afraid.
Yes, I'm.
Never mind.
I'm aware.
It is okay. His turn. So he is basically going to be here. He's got a 50-50 at this point. So 1 or a 2, he swings at
killed your friend.
Petrus. 3 or a 4, he swings at Jakal.
Oh, come on.
And he's at -1 because of Haven's spell. Ooh.
Oh boy.
Even with the -1,
Didn't
let's
matter.
see. This could hurt. Fortunately, not too bad. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll still be alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 3.
Definitely.
God, damage dice,
Yes.
man.
Somehow.
I swear, somehow this is the completely... We're playing in a different realm than this was last time, a different reality.
Yeah.
Because in the last time, every fight that the people had, they got their asses handed to them.
Honey Badger's a good luck charm.
That's what it is. All right. So it is Jakal's turn.
The flanking bonus, right?
Did Badger go?
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah, roll
no,
for
badge.
badge. Roll for badge.
Badgers don't get flanking
Yeah, but
bonuses,
no.
do they?
Where he is, there's no one across from
Yeah,
the
I
pane
know.
anyway. So go for
Go,
it,
Badger,
Badger.
go! Ah, yes!
Oh my God! The Badger could crit.
No,
Nope.
no, not crit.
So it's 1. A miss.
Oh, wait,
and...
that's a -1, so it's a miss.
Yeah, nope.
They're
Okay.
good. One
So
dead.
he's still alive, I'm afraid. He's seriously wounded, but he is still alive. Okay,
All right.
now, Jakal, can you find sure footing and finish this
I've got a
Zentaran
+7.
scum once and for all?
I've got a +7 in level 2. Like, if this doesn't work...
Hey,
Okay.
It's a hit, and I don't think you can not kill him.
It's a D8 +5. So,
Yeah, he's done.
there we go. Ah, yeah.
All right, finally finding some solid ground. You lunge forward, driving your shiny longsword straight through his chest. Placing your foot on his shield, you just push him off as he collapses, falling backwards, stumbling over the rocks he does so. And finally, the last of the Zentaran hit the ground, dead. However, you cannot help but remind yourself that 2 of them saw you and left. There's 4 horses roaming around here.
Something tells me Leo's red herrings were filleted.
We should probably catch up to them quick.
Yes.
We have
Perhaps
horses.
we could just get to the tomb and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean they were on horses before. I mean by now they're going to be a good distance away for sure.
Yes. I'm gonna lean over to Kipsy. Can you ride a horse?
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Good. I'll ride with you.
Okay.
I can need a horse.
Well,
So I'm gonna like.
the entrance to the tomb is only like 200 feet to the north of you from here anyway. I mean, it's not far to get to.
No.
Yeah,
Gather the horses.
So horses are faster.
We'll need them to get out of here.
All right.
I'm gonna coax
You
the
want to
horse
take them up
down.
to the entrance of the tomb, or tie them to a tree here?
Ooh,
Or...
we should try them to a tree here.
Yeah.
At least,
Okay.
yeah. I think that's best. It's not too far away. Look, we can see it from here.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, from the entrance to the tomb, you can actually see.
Guys, have you tried long swords?
Very cool.
I'm not sure that I could actually carry it.
I wouldn't know how to use one if I did, so...
It's not. I don't think it'd be much different than a dagger.
I don't even know how to use one of those really that well.
You want one of mine? I have two.
Just word for the wise, they're great.
The badger goes up and tries to pick up a long sword. No. Okay. Yep. So the tomb, the entrance to the tomb is to the north of you. You've tied your horses to the tree. What do you wish to do?
I'd
Get
love
her
to
done.
rest, but we need to go.
Yep. Okay.
Let's make for the tomb.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna bundle you all here so I can pick you all up. Move you out of the way for now. And I'm missing a bat. There it is. Okay. I will need
Don't
you.
forget the badger.
Yeah,
The long sword in
I
his
will
mouth.
need you later. Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh my lord.
And let me go ahead and position this first. And I'll zoom out because it's huge. And for our chat, just so you know, our players cannot see what you see. So they only see the little lit area, the entrance. Okay. I'll put them where they want to be. So yes, as you approach, you can see that carved into the mountain itself are large, like naturally carved stone stairways. It's a big map, so you'll probably want to zoom out some. And we're about to wrap things up for the night, but here we go. Okay. So as you kind of move up between the sides of the mountain, you can see two, as I said, two statues. The one on the far right is standing up, proud and still intact. The one on the left is broken. The 20-foot stone statues that are flanking it on either side. The statue on the left, the one that appears to have taken a tumble, looks like it was an elven female in flowing robes wearing a crown and was holding a staff in her right hand. You see that her left hand must have once been raised before her. To the right is a statue of a warrior in plate armor standing vigil. His right arm is raised and his hand grips a lucerne hammer. A great helm covers his features, and the dull color of the rock makes him appear passionless. This statue, apparently better shielded from the avalanche, is unscathed. Between the statues, embedded in the mountain itself, you see a huge metal door, sunlight reflecting off of it in bursts and beams, forcing you almost to shield your eyes as you look at it. And that is as good a place as any to wrap it up this evening. So there we go. Yep, we got you to the tomb, which is pretty much where we wanted to be.